What is going on, all the Full Senders all around the nation? We are back with the ninth episode of the Full Send Studios podcast. I'm joined here with Darren.
What's going on, guys?
Darren. Ian had some emergency, a family emergency that he had to go help with. He will hopefully be joining us at some point throughout the podcast, but for the time being, it's just going to be me and Darren. I just found out that he is coming back now, so he should be here soon. So anyway, welcome back to the ninth episode. We're staying on course pretty well. Like I'm pretty impressed with.
Haven't missed a week.
Yeah.
No.
So we're killing it out here. Hit the follow button for.
Really, it's like the 12th if you count the pilot episodes.
Yeah, the pilot and one ours too. Or was that? Did we call that a podcast?
I called that episode 8.
You know, we're killing it. That's like 2.5 months, dude. 3 months.
Yeah.
If you count that's pretty lit, honestly. That's a good time. So, you know, consistent streamer, by the way. Follow for consistent streams. Just kidding. I mean, not really. We're so close. I'm kind of getting to the point now where it's sellout season. You know what I mean? We're 8 followers away from being affiliated, and it's sellout time. We're really trying to get there so our boy Chad can hit us with those mean bits. So, you know, even if you don't really enjoy us, maybe just hit the follow button for some charity work. We appreciate it. But yeah, so we're here with the ninth episode. We got quite a bit to talk about this week, as is the case with every week. So
I want to add. I think we solved the camera problem. For anybody that's been here the last 2 episodes that's been doing that.
Right.
We had some problems with the cameras glitching. I think those are fixed, but I guess we'll see.
So do the new cameras have the same problem as the old ones then? That they don't actually stream in 1080 or what?
I don't know.
How does that even work? How is that a problem that it can record but not stream?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
By the way, I can't really hear the audio. Is it bad with the AC on?
What do you mean you can't hear the audio?
Well, I can't hear what's happening after the mixer. I guess if I can't hear it now, I probably can't hear it.
Yeah.
I guess that's not how that works. So anyway, the lighting's going to be a little bit weird because we don't have our blackout curtain right now down, but it's okay. It just makes me look a little bit more pale than normal.
You keep talking. You keep talking to him. I'll fix it.
Welcome to Cody's segment. Thanks for joining us. So I'll just kind of introduce the episode really quick. So as usual, we're going to kick off with a little bit of Full Send Studios talk. If you missed last week, let me give you a quick update. We are kind of taking a step back from the gather currently. We just kind of want to. Wow, it got extremely dark. Like very dark. I'd say maybe honestly just leave it up because I don't know. Thoughts? I think just leave it up. I think just leave it up. Because it looked pretty bad when it was down. I think a little bit of natural light just hitting the side of my face looks pretty good. You know, really accentuates that double chin for you. So enjoy. So anyway, if you missed last week, we're kind of taking a step back from the gather. Just taking some time to boost our skills. Take some time to grow the community. And just ultimately, like we've always said, put out the quality of game that we want to. We just don't think that we have everything we need to do that right now. So we're taking a step back. Me and Ian are working on, building our knowledge in Unreal Engine, which I'll talk a little bit more about here in a little bit, as well as other things. Like I said, I was getting into video editing and doing cinematics in Unreal, which are pretty important things when you want to, reach a wider community.
Yeah.
So we're just taking a step back, getting the things that we need to do, getting our knowledge base where it needs to be, and so forth. There he is, dude. What's going on? Yeah, dude, it's pretty something. So, well, that's how she goes. Hi, Ian. Oh, gosh. It's a tight squeeze, dude. Tight squeeze, big table. Big table, big man. I think that new light he put in is a little bit not as bright as the last one, and when he put the shade down, it was just atrocious. It was so dark. It looked really bad. It looks a lot better like this, honestly. A little bit of natural light, you know.
It's fine.
I mean, look at me. You could look like me. So anyway, following up on that, we're going to be talking about what we've been doing since the shift away from the Gather. And then, as usual, a little bit of gaming talk. We have no game of the week, no real tech of the week, because there's just nothing good right now. Game of the week might go on hold until like Gamescom or something, until there's some new announcements, because there's just nothing really happening right now. We're talking about the future of esports. EA and other major publishers gearing up for a Netflix-like game streaming experience. I think we kind of talked about this last week, but Samsung is officially getting into GPUs, specifically mobile. We're going to talk about the Overwatch League in just a little bit. We're going to talk about Valve's new game. Elon, our Lord and Savior, as always, has a segment this week. And then, you know, just a couple other random things if we get to them. But we always know that doesn't always happen. So, because we have... sometimes we like to ramble just a little bit. Ian looks like he just ate a burger and rushed over there.
It's almost like that.
Wow, Darren. So that's what we got to talk about this week. I think I'm actually going to be kicking off the Full Send Studios talk this week.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty crazy change of scenery. I've had this is going to be like a 15-minute Cody intro, dude.
Hey.
So if you don't enjoy my intros, you can get out of my lobby or whatever. I don't know. I forget what that's from. I'm just kidding, dude. Don't hit the follow button. Thanks. Subscribe. You can't. Let's see.
I have a question before we get into that.
Oh, go for it, man.
Did we already talk about what happened to Darren earlier?
Oh no. Yeah, dude. We'll just kick off with that, honestly.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
So I
wasn't even here. I'm sad.
we were up here a little bit earlier, just getting Darren's computer set up and getting everything ready for the podcast. So we had
for those of you that don't know, a little context. The podcast room is upstairs.
Right.
So we were up here getting set up earlier, but I'm gonna let Cody tell the story because he's got the third person perspective.
Oh man, it was pretty good. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go downstairs because we had probably 20 minutes until the podcast started. So I said, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna get some water so I don't choke on stream when I have this 15-minute cameo at the start. So I'm gonna go downstairs, right? And I open the door and I'm like, oh, Darren's following me and whatever. And Darren's got short little legs, so he moves a little bit. He moves a little.
Now.
Okay, Darren, you can't deny that. I'm sorry. It's relevant to the story. So I hit the bottom of the stairs before he's made it to the, what is that little thing called? I can't remember.
The landing.
The landing, yeah.
Well, I left the room.
Yeah, a little
slightly
bit
after you.
Yeah. So I'm like kind of standing at the bottom of the stairs
It's not like the landing is like low. It's literally 2 stairs landing and then 11 or 12 stairs.
Yeah. So I'm standing at the bottom, right as Darren starts coming down the stairs.
You're like directly at the bottom of the stairs now?
Yeah, I was like right at the bottom, and I just turned around and I'm like, wow, dude, Darren's cooking up down these stairs. I'm like, man, he must really have to do I don't know, use a bathroom or something because he's cooking up. And then I look at his face, and it is just pure horror written across his face. And I realize, I'm like, I've never seen Darren move this fast a day in my life. He's not moving this fast on his own accord, right? He's fallen, okay? So I'm standing at the bottom of the stairs, and I realize what's happening. And I just start losing it, because I'm like, I can't believe I'm about to watch Darren, biff it down the stairs.
Did you fall forward or back?
Back.
Oh, like you fell back and slid down?
So I landed like
Explain
a plank on the, stairs, obviously going down. I landed like a plank, right? And I hit my head, my upper back, and my lower back each on a stair and slide down.
And
it was bad.
I
It
almost
was
thought we weren't gonna
It
have
still
a podcast
hurts.
today.
If anyone's curious.
No one
like,
cares.
like I thought Darren was gonna like have a spinal injury and not be able to get back up the stairs.
I want you guys to know that I got simultaneous messages from Darren and Cody. Both. Darren said, "Ian, I just fell down this way." I'll quote it. He says, "Oh my God, Ian, I fell down the stairs and Vito almost had a stroke from laughing, and my back is broken now." And at the same time, Cody texts me and says, "I thought it was game over for a second. Darren took a big tumble." I thought we were both going to die, me from a heart attack and Darren from brain damage.
So it was possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. If we have never had motivation to what is it, vlog our life, that is a
Here's the
kicker,
thing.
because I wish I had that on recording.
That's extra scary because Darren's stairs have a rough history.
I don't think we can talk about that.
People
on
falling
Twitch.
down. Well, that's what I'm saying. If people falling down, you know.
Oh my God.
What? I've fallen down those stairs before. They're so uneven.
It's a BG, my dude.
They're so uneven. They actually are uneven though. Like,
Oh yeah.
well, like
they're
horribly uneven.
Well, they're kind of like, you know, the
I'm just thinking
skinny
about it right now.
skinny tall stairs. You know.
Oh my God.
The ones you have to jump up, basically.
Yeah.
So okay, I'm starting to recover though. That was.
Is it one of those things where you can just see it and you're just repeating in your mind?
Dude, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's kind of like Cody's crash on the ramp.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I told him, you know, I was like, dude, you know, I took the tumble down the stairs for you. Now you got to take the tumble down the ramp again.
Can we take a video and recreate it?
No.
What else is Grant supposed to post in the chat every day?
Yeah.
The
so
next time
it
Cody
was-
goes down the ramp.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. I'm glad it happened. I was explaining, you know, the premise of why falling is so funny, and Darren made a good point that it's because it's unexpected, right?
Yeah.
And especially like,
Well, there's like a second, you know, when you fall, you know, you're walking and your foot slips out from under
Right.
you, you know, and you just don't know where you're at.
Yeah.
For a solid second, you're just like,
it's just game over.
what is happening?
I'm
How do I
not
not
used-
die right now?
I am not used to being on this plane. So it was pretty good.
My
It was-
favorite kind
it
of
was pretty
falling is
funny.
when someone's fat and they fall
That's-
forward and they like
Exactly.
roll forward.
You mean like Cody's ramp?
Well, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
GG. So probably the best thing I've ever seen. I mean, watching my crashes is funny, but it also reminds me of the pain.
How's your
So,
elbow doing, by the way?
I think it's infected. Yeah, almost certain. It's not great.
That's not the answer I was expecting
so,
at all.
I have had it. It was getting real bad, and
What color is it?
I don't want to get too descriptive.
Just tell me the color.
Well, there's no skin left. It's scabbed over, and I peeled most of the scab off, and there's no skin.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I feel like there's still skin there.
No, there's
Switch to
not.
Darren's camera and let me see.
I don't. I'm not taking this Band-Aid off.
Oh, you got a Band-Aid on it?
So I don't want to get too descriptive,
All right.
but it was very moistury underneath the Band-Aids.
Moistury?
And the Band-Aids were constantly falling off.
Well, that's just part of the healing process.
I
right?
finally got a good one from work. Thanks, Smiths, for your first aid kits.
Is that why the first aid kit was open in the kitchen?
Yes.
Yes. It has been there because I have to replace my Band-Aids.
Is there like no gauze or anything?
No.
Hmm.
There might be, but I don't know.
Putting gauze over something like that would be really painful to take.
Well,
off,
I
though.
didn't buy a new first aid kit. I found it at my parents and took it.
Well,
So
so it's been rough. But beyond that, yeah, it was getting pretty bad.
Wait, so it's like moist enough that you have to change it every morning?
Yeah. So I cleaned it out real well a couple days ago, and I put the Band-Aid back on, and I haven't taken it off yet. but it doesn't hurt anymore. So I feel like it might be a good sign.
It's just the necrosis setting in and eating all your flesh away.
Well, I thought
Gangrene,
I thought that was the problem because like for a while it was just numb.
I think we're gonna have to amputate.
It's not looking great for sure.
Do you need your other arm?
I mean, it's my left arm. I guess I could figure something out. I mean, I don't know, dude. We hit
We can 3D print.
well
something.
over 600 total views
dude,
already,
look at that.
Darren.
Shout out.
Nice, dude.
More than
Yeah.
Grant? Yeah. Are we more than Grant yet?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. It's
But you know,
No, same thing. It's fine.
wait, what? What just happened?
But
What?
yeah, that's unhealthy, Cody.
So I think it's okay though, but I also don't want to take.
hey,
off.
but you're already gonna have to go to the hospital for your hand, though.
Why?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my-
is
is it
not
still bad?
healing. Yeah, it's not healing. Grant has 616, so we were close. So
It's not
that's
healing. Oh, what is
so.
that, brother? Hey, brother. I don't think it's supposed to be like that.
So they said it was gonna be fine. I'm falling apart. I don't think I'm gonna make it many more
Dude,
months.
good thing you didn't fall down the stairs.
If I,
That would have been the end of it.
if I fell down the stairs, there's a good chance I'd be dead. Yeah, 100%.
I really wish it would have been you. Just like okay.
What are you trying to say?
I wish it would have been somebody else so that I could have seen it
Well,
because,
I understand.
like, you don't understand how hard he was laughing.
I'm sorry, dude. It was.
Did you hit the ground?
Oh, I fell on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. I think it was literally the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because he just fell so slow that the house would be gone. That's what Grant just said. Shit.
Well, I don't know if the house would have been gone, but he would have been in the basement.
Gosh. So it was getting pretty ugly there.
It's
for a
over
bit.
if you fall in the basement.
That's not even a house joke. That's not even
I
a
hate
fat
the
joke. That's a
basement.
house joke because my stairs are horrible.
And your basement is horrifying. So
Well,
I
where would he
absolutely
fall into?
hate
He would fall into the crawl space.
no, those stairs are directly over the basement stairs, so he would fall through these stairs and land on the basement stairs.
Go through those ones too.
Dude, you know, while we're talking about falling downstairs, I got another story about falling downstairs.
Oh boy,
That's
story
the
guy.
second time I've fallen downstairs, right? Remember the barn at Ben's house?
Wait, what?
You've been in Ben's barn,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, you know how there's an upstairs to it,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh, I forgot about
I
this.
think I remember this.
So
but
we're renovating the top of this barn, right? It's like a pole barn. It's got a top story to it, right? And we had renovated this, and then we had moved somewhere else. So we were tearing out all the stuff so we could reuse the insulation and everything, right? So me and Jack, Mr. Brain from, so he's me and him are there. We're the only two people there tearing out. We're tearing out the drywall off the walls and taking the insulation and stuff out. And there was a staircase, right? So the stairs go upstairs, and the
That's what stairs do.
whoa, dude.
yeah, well, so the stairs are going up, and the whole length of the stairs, right? There's no ceiling or floor over
Yeah.
top of the stairs, right? So the whole length of the
Not
stairs
even a
is
railing.
just open, yeah. So when you go, you know, if you were to just walk towards the stairs, you would fall onto the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So the whole time we were working on this stuff, we had plywood out over top of those so we could work on the wall behind it.
Yeah.
Because there's only like this much space to stand on the other side of the stairs.
Yeah.
So the whole time we were working on this, we had the plywood over it. Well, we moved it so we could take stuff downstairs. Completely forgot about it. And I start working. There's probably like this much space on the one side of the stairs, right? And I'm working on that wall. And I completely forgot that we didn't have the plywood there anymore. And I step backwards and just fall to like the bottom of the stairs, roll the rest of the way down my stairs, and then just slam my head on the concrete down on the first floor. And Jack had a similar reaction to what you did.
Yeah.
But he did ask if I was okay before he started laughing.
Did you?
No.
Oh,
His was instant.
no.
But Jack just yells down and he's like, "Are you okay or can I laugh?"
and
I just kind of like groaned.
the whole time we were planning on the barn thing, we were trying to figure out a way to, like, what kind of door we were gonna put over top of the stairs because
Yeah.
it was like a legitimate issue that. So we were like trying to figure out a way to like put a piece of wood and you could push it up when you came in and then it would slowly fall back down. You remember that?
Yeah.
but we never got there.
Yeah. So
Well,
that was a rough one though. That one hurt way more than this one
Well.
because Jack ended up finishing that project by himself because I was done.
Well, that's okay.
I just laid in the truck.
I'm surprised you made it up here for the podcast.
Yeah, when I got the message,
to
I
be
was like,
honest.
we're not doing the podcast apparently.
Yeah. So, I'm glad you're here. Happy to see that you're still alive.
Yeah.
You have a headache?
No.
Oh, it's just your back.
Yeah.
Well, that's good news.
I think it's broken. Probably.
Well,
Probably not, but
I
you
think
know.
you're fine. I think you'll be okay. You're a big boy. All right. Okay. So after that 15-minute diversion, we're gonna jump into FSS talk for a little bit. So I'm just gonna kick off with what I've been doing this week. It has been a wild week for me. I had 3 days off of work, so I spent a lot of time dedicated to just learning new stuff. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but Darren, being the project manager, tasked us with making a game, right? Just to kind of grow our knowledge base in Unreal, so that we can assist more once we do get back on the gather path. So I started making a game this week. I think I might have started a little bit earlier. I might have had some stuff done, but the majority of the work was done this last week. It is, I guess, kind of like a Hunger Games style thing. I haven't really gotten much into like any level design or anything. I've mostly just been getting kind of the core thing set up. So I was working on a weapon system. I actually ended up watching Darren's weapon system stream that I uploaded that was 6 hours long. I didn't make it very far because FPS weapon system diverts pretty quickly from melee weapon system. But anyway, after that, and the reason that I had kind of stopped doing the weapon system was the realization that most of it needed to be I needed animations before I progressed a whole lot further with the weapon system. So I worked on that a lot, and that has been rough, to say the least. But I think we're at a point now. So Darren, I don't know if you want to talk about what you did and getting all of these animations set on one skeleton. I don't know if people care really, but
Wow.
that was a painful time in Darren's life.
So, I mean, we have a lot of animations. I don't even know, like, probably 2,500 animations in total for, swords, machine guns, pistols, just unarmed blocking, fighting, etc., things like that. But the problem is a lot of them are on. They're the same skeleton, but they're not the same. Like, they're the same skeleton, but they're not the same skeleton. If you know what I mean.
Pose.
No, just there's two different skeleton assets that are really the same skeleton, but they're
Okay.
yeah.
So I worked on getting those all in the same skeleton and put them in kind of a usable pipeline that we can stick them into any project we want to use and have it be easier to get access to those.
Right.
So
we finally got those integrated. Before I had those, I was just working with some free assets that, Epic releases for the Unreal Engine Marketplace. I forget what the game was called, Infinity Blade. I was working with some of those. They just weren't working with new animations, but that's what I was working with to get like my state machine set up and final animation poses and stuff like that. So I've been working a little bit with that, doing a little bit of map design, but mostly the past few days have been dedicated to animations and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm in a pretty good point with that. So we'll probably be kind of finishing off a symbol animation system next week and hopefully getting back into the weapon system. I'm going to have to see if these Paragon assets have any good weapons. I'm not sure if they do.
Just
but
not bad ones.
I'll have
Pretty
to
good ones.
check. I might buy some smaller packs or something too. But yeah, so I don't.
You could model swords. That's not hard.
Yeah.
Melee weapons wouldn't be that hard.
Or call Jack.
Yeah. So
That's a good idea. You should have Jack make some.
So yeah, so we might look into that a little bit this week too. I wouldn't expect this game to ever be playable by anyone. Like it might be it'll be playable, but I don't expect it to ever be released. Definitely not anytime soon. So, but yeah, so that's what I'm working on. It's gonna take a while for it to be done, but it has been a very eventful week. So, yeah. Darren, if you want to talk about your project a little bit.
Yeah, I guess. So I don't really have that much of a specific project that I'm working on. More just kind of working on different gameplay systems and stuff that we can later implement into other games easily.
You were like organizing a ton too, weren't you? Trying to get everything in the same place.
Yeah, I mean that was part of what it started with the animations because Cody needed them, and I was like, well, I don't have a good way for people who don't know how to make all of these things work together, get these and use them. So that's kind of what started that. So I, organized all of our assets a little bit, made them easier to access, things like that. And I worked on some AI stuff as far as I just made like a patrol route system, which isn't that hard or in depth to do, but kind of just making modular systems that we can, stick into any future projects. My big thing I guess my biggest thing I'm working on is motion matching. So like procedurally generated animation. Well, it's not really generated, but basically we input a bunch of mocap data and it matches a pose to the character's current state as opposed to using a state machine and traditional forms of animation. Essentially, we go straight from mocap, stick that into the game, and voila, we have animations.
And a quick side note on that, before we get any further, I'm going to run a command in chat really quick. You can check out our YouTube. We did an unboxing and kind of setup of our motion capture suit. So check that out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be doing some more this week, right?
At some point here soon, yeah.
So maybe a video with that. Probably a video with that, because why not?
Yeah.
So you can expect to see that. It's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know when we're doing that, but,
Yeah,
it will definitely be soon because I don't have good mocap data to use for that.
Yeah.
The difference is, right now we have short, quick cut animations,
Right.
That, you swing once like this.
A lot of
whatever.
in-place animations.
So what we really need is like a 10-minute long animation clip where you cover a bunch of stuff and the algorithm can analyze that clip and decide what poses to use from it.
Right.
So that's kind of what we're working on. Don't know if we'll actually use that in games. Depends where I get with it. Depends how it works out. But that's like the animation system they're using for The Last of Us 2. If you've seen that demo, they used it in For Honor. There's only like a handful of games that have ever done it because it's a pretty new concept. So
Right. It's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So I'm excited to get into that again because that was fun to use the first time, even though it was kind of strange to figure out. But so yeah, we'll be getting back into that. I'm trying to think what else. I'm trying to think of what other videos we're gonna be like putting out. I might do something.
We got to do the 1v1, dude.
Oh yeah, the 1v1.
Yeah.
Well, we could have a little tourney.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get a tourney from. We had a 6-stack today. We can get a 1v1 tourney going if we wanted to.
It's hard to argue with. We could. So we might do that. I'm trying to think what else.
Content's content, brother.
That's right. That's how we do it, dude. Content is content. 2018. I might do something when I get a semi-playable version of my game just to show what I've been working on. Maybe I might just do a live stream for that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I guess I could talk about the idea for my game.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not really far into it at all.
We'll go for it.
I kind of wanted to learn something different from what we've been doing. So The Gather was third person. Darren was pretty deep into that kind of stuff. And then Cody's doing a first person game right now. So I kind of wanted to do like a side scroller platformer-ish game. I haven't really decided what the art style was going to be at first. I was going to try to do like an 8-bit version of one of the areas in the Gather that I've written. But it might just be a 3D side scroller of that area as well, because I'm bad at art and designing pixel art is annoying.
Yeah.
So, that's where it is right
Jack
now.
is pretty good at pixel art.
Yeah, I was gonna text him, but we'll see what happens. I'm not deep into it at all. I basically just have written a good portion of the story, and that's about it. So
That's pretty lit, dude. Hell yeah. So, yeah. Expect a little bit of content coming your way here soon. I know we kind of promised a lot more content when we talked about moving to other projects.
Well, I mean, that was just last week.
Yeah, that's true. So, I think we'll be rolling out with some stuff here soon. So you can expect to see that on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is by far our lowest supported platform, reasonably so. So if you want to see some of the content, some of what we're doing, you can head over there and check it out. Okay, I think that's it for us.
nice, dude.
I don't think there's a whole lot else.
No.
Donate so I can re-up on my Adobe suite for next month. Appreciate it. No, I'm just kidding. So we're going to move in to the only one of our weekly segments we actually have something for.
Yeah.
Movie of the week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ian wasn't here to see this movie with us this week. Normally, it's the other way around. I'm normally the one missing movies.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch it up a little bit. So we watched The Darkest Minds. Now, it was very weird because I felt like at some points, I'm not going to spoil a whole lot, if anything. It felt like at some points that it was kind of like oriented towards like children. I think that's mostly because the main actors are all children.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're hardly children. They're
well,
like
yeah,
upper teens.
yeah, they're perceived as kids.
The question
though.
is, was it like a kid's book before?
It was
I
a
don't-
book, but I don't know if
Because
Yeah, I
it
know.
Well,
was.
it
It's
feels
like a
like
young adult book, probably.
'Cause-
It's very similar to Hunger Games.
Yeah,
that's like what
Uh,
the Hobbit's like, because the Lord of the Rings, obviously, you
Yeah.
have the ones that feel very dark and older,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
the Hobbit feels like, more fantasy because it's
Yeah.
literally like a kid's book.
Right.
It's literally like a teenager book.
Yeah.
So.
Mhm.
that's why.
I
the
mean, I
Hobbit
would say it's
trilogy
like
is trash.
you'd find it in the young adult section
Yeah.
of the library.
I mean,
or whatever.
obviously I didn't watch it, but
Right.
just
It's very as far as that goes, like how age group and theme and everything, it feels very similar to Hunger Games.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think it has potential to be a better story than Hunger Games. But,
Yeah, I think so too.
is this going to be like a multi-movie series?
Almost
Oh,
certainly.
I mean, they
least
definitely set it
two.
up for that, but I could see them also not continuing it.
Is it
and
is it
leaving
like
up to-
new? Like when did this?
Yeah, we watched.
We
it
watched it
opening
on
night.
Friday, and that was opening night.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys go to the movie theater and watch
Mhm.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
it just
it's
came
fair
out.
now.
So I guess it probably depends on how well it does at the
Yeah.
box office, but they left it right into a sequel. So.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, and I think the sequel, if they do it right, would be better. Than
Oh, yeah, for
the
sure.
first
Speaking of
movie.
like sequels not getting finished, did like the Maze Runner trilogy ever get finished? As far as movies
don't
go,
know.
I am unsure.
because I know the first and second one came out for sure, but I don't
Mhm.
know if the third one did. But those movies are
Not too
kind of
sure. Yeah,
books are
yeah.
great. Movies kind of
Mm-hmm.
That's normally how it goes.
Talking about trilogies, while we're on the topic of trilogies, I want to kind of jump down our list a little bit here.
Here we go.
To Valve's new game.
Oh,
Oh.
no!
Wait, are we talking about Artifact?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I am disappointed.
Why?
Very much so. Because I don't think that we need another card game. It's literally just going to be the same thing as Hearthstone.
Dude, I love
And there's
card games.
okay, but we don't need another one. If you like a card game, play Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering. This is going to be the same one. This is
Magic.
This is not the game that Valve needs to be making. Valve needs to be making Half-Life.
Half-Life.
3.
Okay, well they already released the script publicly, so like
What?
even if they were to make it, then we know the story.
Okay, that I don't care. I want to play Half-Life 3.
Well, everyone does.
I'm just saying. If Valve's making a game, it should be Half-Life 3. We don't need
Valve's
another
been
card
making
game.
this game for like 5 years.
Okay, but we don't need another.
Well, that's
card game.
embarrassing
Yeah.
that they've been making a card game that long. and
Well, they
still
gotta
hasn't
balance
come
it.
out. Well,
Ton of balancing. Card games would be hard.
There's
to
like 40 cards on release.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell me it's that hard to balance 40 cards.
I mean,
Magic balances thousands, hundreds.
Yeah,
I don't
even
a ton.
know. A lot.
I don't know anything about Magic.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan of card games to begin with.
I'm not a fan of Hearthstone because if you don't spend money, you're literally
That's-
never
That's
going to win.
certainly
Like
how
every
this
card
is going to
game.
be. That's
Oh,
the whole
yeah.
thing
Well,
of card games.
you don't know
It's
that
the
for
same
sure,
way.
though.
It's the
Yeah,
same way in
you
every
don't.
card game. Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic,
Yeah, but you have no
traditional
idea yet,
card
though.
games. That's how it's going to be.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
see. If they
companies
don't,
can't resist how much money they're going to make from it. So.
Well,
I don't know if there's ever been a card game that doesn't have a market to buy cards, like
Well,
a
certainly not.
specific card.
yeah.
And if that is the case, then it will be pay to win.
right.
You know, that's how Magic is, right? Like the really good cards. What is these?
RNG.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Magic, the best decks are worth $500,000.
I don't think it's quite that much, but
I literally know
They're-
nothing about Magic at
They're
all.
substantial. Like,
Is there
they're-
money in Magic, like winning tournaments? Like,
Yes.
is there money?
there's pretty
Magic's
good
probably the
prizes,
biggest card game.
but by far.
Sure.
Let me see.
There's like I'm gonna look up a prize amount.
The most expensive Magic the Gather card is, if you find it, the cheapest you'll find is $150,000.
So
That is
the
stupid.
first place of the Grand Prix tournament, which is a pretty big one, is 10 grand. And I don't even think that's the biggest one. They also have the Pro Tour, which first place pays out 50 grand. And my cousin won one of those at some point.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I just
I mean, I
that's
like
such
the
a foreign
concept.
subject to me, but yeah, I like it's real. Like me and you sit across from each other and
Yeah.
and play it. I like that aspect, but
I just
Like,
think it's
just don't
such an
understand.
oversaturated market because everyone's doing it because everyone knows they can make money off of it.
And
it's
it's
just-
there's too many established names already.
Yeah.
I mean,
And there's just no
when it
way
comes to
div-
digital games, Hearthstone's already got the market.
right,
And when it comes to physical card games, Magic's already got the market.
right.
And the only way that you're gonna see anyone kind of change
Yu-Gi-Oh
that
has the
market.
market.
No, they
Okay,
don't.
dude.
Well,
Nobody plays Yu-Gi-Oh.
Has anyone played Yu-Gi-Oh since like we were in like 5th grade?
Jack.
Wow.
Duel
I
Links
never-
was, that little mobile game was popular as hell.
I never actually played Yu-Gi-Oh like the way it was supposed to.
Really?
Like I just had the cards because I liked the cards.
Yeah.
That was about it.
I played the last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh was probably, I don't know, 7th grade or something. I played this kid, he destroyed me, and I threw all my cards in the trash.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't know. So I think, my personal opinion, I guess none of us really play these games, so we don't really know.
Yep.
Yeah,
But I think people mostly play the games not necessarily because they enjoy the card game itself, but they are interested in collecting the cards
Yeah.
and playing the game as part of that.
I mean, I love card games, like in general. Like I like playing
I
cards.
mean, I
but
play
don't-
poker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
But you know,
Grant hit us with that host. Thanks,
oh,
my dude.
Thanks,
That was a
man.
while ago.
Appreciate it. Oh, I just saw it.
Well, I didn't feel the need to shout out to our no viewers that we get from Grant hosting us.
Wow, it was one viewer. It was one viewer.
Yeah, Grant.
Wow. But thanks.
Still,
anyways,
still much appreciated. Thanks for the host, my dude. That's so rude. I don't know. Card games are overplayed. The market's oversaturated. There's not any room for advancement to make them better. I'm bored. Valve, you disappoint me.
I mean, it is disappointing
Let's keep
for
going.
Valve.
Even
to
if
do
it's
that.
not Half-Life 3, I mean, I just so like Valve games previously, like Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1 even, like they were pushing the boundaries, right? They were doing, I mean there were some FPSs before that, but I don't think that there were like any, like especially with Half-Life 1, people weren't making these big cool stories in FPSs and stuff. You had like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff that were, just kind of shoot 'em up kind of deal.
Yeah.
But they were kind of pushing the barrier of what people were doing, and they're not doing that.
I'd
anymore.
honestly rather have them make another puzzle game, like Portal, because I love puzzle games. We found the Talos.
Well, I don't
whatever.
think
But-
that anybody's gonna make a better puzzle game than the Talos Principle.
It
to be
was so
honest,
good. Like it's just so good. But yeah. Yeah, Valve hurts me.
Disappoint.
Gabe and
Yeah.
Y. Was it Gabe?
0 out of 10.
Yeah.
Gabe and Valve? Yeah.
Gabe Newell.
0 out of 10.
Game of the week.
I don't know.
The game I've been making.
Yeah.
Together.
That's the
I mean,
best
I guess
game
we've been playing a little bit of Binding of Isaac. Just
That's true.
Yeah, I was
Randomly.
thinking about that too.
little game, fun to play a few.
I've been playing
few
that when I
rounds
go to
every once
bed a
in a
little
while.
bit because I got that Xbox up there now. It's still fun.
I played that game I was playing, Brawlhalla or whatever. It's like Smash. It's like a
Oh, I
fighting
saw you
game that's
playing
like
that.
Smash. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
It looks kind
It's
of
pretty fun, but Smash
Nothing
clone.
special.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think game of the week is my game. Hunger Games ripoff. That's the title. So yeah,
That's the title. You could probably actually be like
I feel
Hunger Games ripoff, and that's the title of your game, and people would play it just because memes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when they copyright claim you, you can just say it's fair use.
Yeah, dude, fair use.
Fair use.
Just call it
Speaking of fair use, we never got that copyright claim on YouTube resolved after YouTube said they have to reply within a month.
So
I think we should sue them for
Should we sue 'em?
not replying.
I just don't. Thinking about that just makes me so tilt. Like, why do you care that people are watching your video
Yeah,
and showing it to other people? Like, why would that matter? Why would you not want that to be a thing?
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
just-
don't know.
for the name of your game, dude, just call it like Hungry Gains ripoff.
Call it, yeah, like Hungry Gains.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
Big positive.
yeah, dude.
gains,
Hungry
dude.
Gains.
You just do
Everyone
nothing
is-
but eat protein.
Everyone is just super big. You got the whey protein as weapons. Your melee weapons whey protein. You just smack them with it.
That'd be pretty lit.
And you kill them, and
Not
powder
gonna
goes
lie.
everywhere when you kill them. And then just like, get gains.
Good gains, dude. Might have to happen, honestly. We're going downhill pretty quick, but
That's
like,
how it's gonna happen, dude.
yeah, that's how
There you go, Grant. Grant's in
that's how I
chat,
become
giving us the good, those good goods.
gains, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Tech of the week. GG.
Yeah.
We tried.
No one's making cool new stuff. Come on, guys.
I put on their mocap suit. I mean, that's a cool thing, but we've obviously talked about that before. This isn't technology, but Unreal Engine 4 is still the GOAT. Thank you for supporting us.
I mean, that is
Um,
technology.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's not like a physical thing. I don't know. When I envisioned this, it was more of like a thing you can go on Amazon and buy, and I don't know. But and then I put our Anchor batteries, which we use to power our mocap suit. And I also saw apparently they have a speaker that's really good and it's really cheap. I don't know anything about it. Didn't watch the video, but maybe check that out because we like Anchor, dude. They support us.
I like speakers, dude.
Yeah, so
I'm looking for a new speaker too. Maybe I'll look it up.
looks pretty cool. I think if I remember right, it was maybe like $40. Not bad.
Wow.
They said it was pretty good. So yeah, that's all we got. Oh well, I guess while we're talking about Tech of the Week, we could talk about this gaming phone.
Yeah.
Gaming phone.
Yeah.
I'll show you this link really quick, Ian.
Alright.
It's do I already have it pulled up? I
This is
don't.
the Asus ROG phone.
Yeah, dude. So ROG
They made a Republic of Gamers phone.
obviously, yep, stands for
Wow.
that. It is
Specifically meant for gaming. What is it, like $1,300 is what they're
well,
looking at?
they don't have an official price, but estimates put it around like $1,200-$1,300. So here, they released like the specs online. So I'm just gonna read these off really quick. Internal storage, there's gonna be 128 gigabyte and half terabyte version. It's also gonna come with 100 gigabytes of free Google Drive space for a year. Trying to rip off the Pixel.
Nice.
But that's cool. I have unlimited forever. But I respect the attempt. But honestly, if you have half a terabyte on your phone plus 100 gigs, I don't know. That's a lot, Speaking of storage, side note, Samsung's whatever next Note is apparently going to support terabyte. What are those little
SD cards.
SD cards?
Wow.
Expandable storage. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about the weight.
ROG phone.
It's a 6-inch display, 18 by 9 aspect ratio, 90 hertz screen. It's kind of interesting.
What's yours, Darren? What size screen does your X have?
5.8.
5.8.
Yeah. So
Mine's still bigger.
1 ms response time, AMOLED display, some flashy lights. It has like cooling thing on the side, like actual fans. It's running for the CPU. It's running a 2.96 gigahertz, specially binned Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 mobile platform with 64-bit octa-core processor. The GPU will be a Qualcomm Adreno 630. It's just your typical top-of-the-line hardware that you would expect with this kind of phone. The memory is going to be up to 8 gigabytes of RAM. Main rear camera, I don't know if this is official. I know they said they might change this. It's 12 megapixel, whatever. I don't know anything about sensors. If you do, you can check for yourself. Because obviously that's what matters. But
so
there's 2 rear cameras. It's kind of cool. It does support. Wow, it supports
4K?
it supports 4K 60 FPS.
That's cool.
That's pretty good.
I don't know how many other phones do that people actually buy.
I don't know.
Like I know there
Does
was
the iPhone do 60? I know it does 4K.
I know it does 4K 30, but I don't know if it's 60.
Yeah.
I know 30 for
I know
sure.
the Pixels don't do 60. I assume the iPhone doesn't. If the
That's
Pixel
pretty cool,
doesn't.
though.
But
That's like
I mean, the iPhone might because it does have a lot of slow-mo stuff in the camera.
right.
maybe.
And you definitely need
That
higher frame
ROG
rate for
is-
that.
That's cool. They're like trying to branch out, pushing the boundaries
Yeah.
for phones for whatever reason in gaming. I don't know, but
This phone,
I'm about it.
Oh, it does 1080p full HD recording at 60 FPS, slow motion support at 240 FPS. That's kind of lit.
Speakers, audio stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Speakers, whatever. Apparently the speakers are pretty good. Anyway, the main selling point of this phone is obviously it's a gaming phone, right? At top of the line hardware. The speakers are really good, but the main selling point. What is his name? MKBHD, Marquise Brownlee. I don't know. He did a review of this phone.
The iPhone X does do 4K at 60 FPS.
Oh, dude, look at that. It's pretty interesting. It has a 4,000 milliamp battery. That's pretty lit. Anyway, the main selling point of this phone is going to be the accessories that you can get with it, right? So, for example, if you're playing something like PUBG Mobile or something, there is a thing. So, basically, right, it has your typical USB-C on the bottom, right? And it has 2 USB-Cs on the side for accessories.
Oh, that's cool.
So, for example, if I'm holding my phone like this, they would be right at the top right here. And so some of the accessories that have been made for it, for example, is a fan that plugs into those USB-C ports, hooks around the back, and then latches on the bottom. So if you're doing some crazy stuff, you might need a fan, and it sits right above your CPU.
Right.
Stuff. I've seen keyboards. I've seen some crazy. This right here is like cooling. That's just
pretty sweet, though, to be honest. With you.
fans that are just built into the phone. It looks cool.
So is it like I can only play mobile games, or is that like I can play?
I would
on
assume you
Steam?
can. It's running Android. You will not be able to play Steam games.
Okay.
That's probably just a fact.
So I want to go
Maybe
back
it's
to
something.
the anchor speaker that we were talking about. This thing's pretty crazy.
Did
I'm
you
not gonna
find
lie to
it?
you. Yeah. So, first of all, it comes with a 4-year warranty. That's only $2 on Amazon, which is pretty crazy. It's a
That's-
$40 speaker.
That is pretty. good.
$39.99 on Amazon.
Yeah, that's
Um,
probably the one I was.
It
I saw.
says. So they added extra bass and some awesome audio stuff. I don't know anything about audio and how it's measured, but
Yeah. not really.
it has a 24-hour battery.
Yeah, I did see that.
500 song playtime is the
That's
average.
Good.
Water resistant, dust resistant.
To be expected, I feel like at this
Yeah,
point.
and you can. Its sound is up to 66 feet. So I don't know if that's good or not, but that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good, and it's only $40. So there's our tech of the week.
Yep.
That's a good speaker, cheap, good
I'm
warranty.
actually about to
if
buy
it
it
goes
on
wrong.
Amazon right now. Not gonna lie with you.
Yeah,
It's in my cart.
nice.
I do.
We like Anchor. We support you. Support us, Anchor. Thanks. So I guess that's our tech of the week. The Anchor speaker for $40. You can get it on Amazon. It's at a $2 4-year warranty. So something goes wrong, buy the $2 warranty. Don't cheap out on warranty. It's always a bad idea. Well, not always. It always seems like when I cheap out on the warranty, it's always a bad idea. Something always goes wrong. So yeah, but yeah, back to the phone. It seems cool. I have next to no interest in mobile gaming. Because why would I play on a 6-inch screen with trash when
and
I can?
why would you spend $1,300 on a phone for gaming when you
literally
can buy
that costs more than my computer?
Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah, but that Hearthstone mobile though.
Okay, I can play Hearthstone on the computer too.
I can play Hearthstone on my phone right now. It's running the same thing.
Well, I can play Fortnite on my phone right now, but that doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a cool idea. I think if that's your kind of thing, maybe, I don't know, if you travel a lot and, I don't know, like PUBG
Get a
Mobile.
laptop that costs $1,200.
Buy an
I
ROG
don't know.
laptop.
I can't think of a really good reason to use it. I mean,
I can't. I've literally been sitting here trying to think of a reason that would be worth it,
yeah.
and I can't. I wouldn't even buy that for like $100.
Mobile gaming's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean,
that
I
good.
would buy it for a phone.
I
If
would
was
buy
the
it for
regular
$100.
price phone.
That's like the cheapest phone in existence.
Well,
It's $100.
well, I was more of saying it's not worth it for the.
I mean, I'm not saying don't buy a $1,200 phone because obviously I have one, but
Yeah.
I just don't see the purpose of a phone that's specifically for gaming.
right.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
don't,
if you're
I
gonna
don't
make a
think it
gaming
is
phone, I
specifically
don't know
for
why
gaming.
you would make an Android gaming phone. Android is horrible for gaming. I mean, not that you can just make a phone and use iOS, but those are pretty much your options. But Android just is way worse for games than iOS is. Not necessarily. I don't even know that it's like I don't know that there's more games available on iOS. I don't think there are, but
I doubt it.
I think just from a technical standpoint, like the quality of games you can run on iOS is better than Android. Now, that's not to say that they don't, really spice up the version of Android they ship with it somehow, but I still don't think that's going to make it that much better.
No, they're not. It says on there that they're just using 8.1. I don't even think it's stock. So, GG. Probably not going to be too great. But the hardware's there, I guess. We'll see. I don't know. I'd be interested to see some new operating systems for phones because I don't like either right now that are actual options. I think they're both pretty atrocious.
What do you think are the actual options, Android and iOS?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I think iOS is far superior to Android, but
Well, I'm sure you do, but your views change based on what you buy. That's just how it goes.
I mean, I bought the iPhone because I thought iOS was superior to Android.
I feel like you did.
I
I remember the conversation being you were angry at Google because they're changing and they don't make Nexus phones anymore. So I'm done. I'm gonna buy an iPhone.
That sounds.
That's
pretty
the
accurate.
conversation I remember.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what conversation you had, but which you're not wrong. I mean, that is the whole point of the Nexus phones was sell a cheap phone.
Well, and
it's a
Android's not
dev
open
kit,
source
and,
anymore.
neither is iOS. I mean,
Well,
that's
I
not
know,
a
but-
reasonable argument when you're deciding between one or the other.
Well, I mean,
I've had an iPhone forever, so
I'm just saying they've made Android not what it was intended to be and what they said that it would be.
But I don't care about that, right? I don't care if they differ from intentions. I just care about the product, and is one better than the
And
other?
I mean, now that I've had an iPhone, I do think that I like iOS more than I liked Android.
Yeah.
really.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say that I am not that way. 2 reasons. 1, not having stack notifications. I'd rather kill myself. Actually, like that.
Having what?
stacked notifications, so all of your notifications come in separately, I'd rather die.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's like my one complaint with it. And they used to have it, and
I don't know anything different. So
they took it out.
is that like
apparently
a
at some
setting you
point.
can change though?
No, it's not. It used to be.
Oh. So like you get messages. So like your messages and
Like
your Twitter are
you
separate.
send me 2 messages, right? No, like you send me 2 messages, right? They come in first message, second message, third message, not 3 messages
Not
from me.
Hangouts.
Yeah.
Not Snapchat. Whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, uninstall Snapchat if you have it right now. We're buying Snap puts, going to the moon. Let's go.
So like for example, it's like
Yes.
this for me.
So this
instead,
would be
that
one
would
block.
Be one, and then that would be
that
one.
would be a block. That would be a block.
For you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, So all of the ES, like I'd rather die than have to deal with that.
That's my only complaint, and honestly, now that I've used it for a while, it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
It did bother me right at first, but
Yeah.
I remember you complaining about that at first, like the first week after you got your phone.
Yeah. And I just don't know if I see many advantages to owning an iPhone right now.
I mean,
that's
I
the
don't
main
think
thing
that
for
there's
me.
an advantage to owning an iPhone over anything else. I just
Well, that's what
prefer
I'm
it.
saying. Like if a better phone, like if iPhone's next release is exceptional and game changing, and they do really cool stuff, I'll probably be like, well, that's great. Let's go with that. But the thing is the difference for me, right? The user experience is so like not that much different for what I do. That I'm gonna go with the iOS or the operating
like
system
buying-
I've always used.
It's like buying a Mac in general. Macs are better in certain areas than PCs
Well,
are.
I think Apple definitely has its market, right? Apple's all about user experience, right? I
Right.
think, and I'll even give them this. Like, I don't like Mac OS, but it works.
Yeah.
And it never doesn't work.
Right.
Right. I mean,
And
that's
it's-
just kind of what it
They
is.
have really good software for like
and
art
honestly,
stuff.
under the hood, from a technical standpoint, Mac OS is way better than Windows. From a
Based on like hardware to
well,
performance.
no, I'm just saying like.
I'm just saying
I mean, obviously, Mac OS is Unix based and Windows isn't, so that's a game changer right there. But Mac OS is very close to Linux, as far from like an under the hood standpoint. But that's where Apple invests their time, I guess, is fluid, solid user experience,
Well,
right?
They are
I mean,
fun
I'll-
to use from the limited amount of experience I've had, especially like my friends have had Mac books and whatever else, and they're interesting.
I mean, obviously, I agree with you, but I also think when you control everything, right, from the top to the bottom, right, you make the device, you make the operating system, and whatever.
Yeah.
That's just how it's going to go,
Right.
right? And that's the problem that Android and PC have is you have to. It's just never going to be as optimized as an Apple device.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because the price or performance is still, I think, favored towards PC.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I will say this. So Apple's got some good software and stuff. Honestly, if I was gonna go buy a computer specifically for video or photo editing,
Yeah.
there's a good chance that I would buy an iMac.
Oh, I'd buy a Mac for sure.
If I was gonna spend money specifically on a computer for that, I'd probably get a Mac.
Does
I
Mac?
mean, you've owned a Mac before.
What is Mac's photo editing that comes?
I mean, they have
native?
I
it
don't
good?
know what they have, but
'Cause I know Final Cut
Photoshop
good.
is not expensive anymore.
No.
Like there are like a couple different versions of Photoshop, and you can get it for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Um,
I paid. Well, I have a student discount, but like I have the Adobe Suite, and it's $20 a month.
I mean, it's
imagine,
$50 a month normally.
What
and-
What is all that stuff?
That's
is
every
that everything
Adobe program.
After Effects, Premiere,
Yeah.
Encoder,
And,
Photoshop.
I mean,
it's
if you
everything.
do like simple,
All of that's only $20 a month.
Yeah.
That's pretty
if
crazy.
you do like simple editing, like just piecing together clips and things like that, nothing like special effects.
right,
iMovie is really good.
that's
It's
it
really
runs-
fast at exporting, and it runs very well. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
It's
Ken
optimized.
uses Premiere and stuff for his job.
Yeah.
And he's like
But-
a legitimate photo or a video.
But I mean,
editor.
Premiere obviously is just a bigger program; it can do more.
Right.
But if all you're doing is, I wouldn't like if all I ever was gonna do, if I had a Mac, let's say I had iMovie and Premiere, if all I was gonna do was piece together clips and stuff, I'd probably pick iMovie over Premiere.
Right.
But Yeah.
Agreed.
Which I guess I don't know. I've never used a Premiere on a Mac, so I don't know if there's a difference there. But it seems like iMovie is just really good at exporting and working with the file system on the computer.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I think the only way things are going to change is if Apple decides to lower their prices. That's not going to happen.
They don't need to.
They don't have to. They have no reason to.
but
or if like Windows decides.
yeah,
$1 trillion
part of what also helps create that fluid user experience. I mean, obviously they make everything so it just works better. But when it comes to like the App Store and they haven't like an App Store on the Macs too. When it comes to what's in there and everything, I mean they're like they individually test each product and like you have to get approved to be on it. And whereas with Android or Windows, you can just stick anything out there.
Yeah.
Right. And so they don't let bad products be on the store because,
Why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just part of the experience.
I mean, that does result in, I've noticed the biggest difference between the Android market and the App Store on the iPhone is, I guess Google Play is what it is now. The main difference I see between Google Play and the App Store is that there are way, way, way more free things on Google Play.
Right.
And there are way more paid things on iOS. But the paid things on iOS that I've noticed, if I usually on Android, I will not buy a game for $2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Unless I've like heard really good things about it and whatnot. Because there's probably better free games.
Right.
On iOS, most games are paid. Any free game is just loaded with microtransactions.
Yeah,
on iOS.
or ads.
But I will say most of the paid games on iOS are not, and they're usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Except for Binding of Isaac on mobile. Can you please support iPhone X displays? Thank you.
Did you see it? Oh, sorry.
Oh, fine. I've spent a pretty good amount of money on like the App Store throughout the years. Like I've bought every Infinity Blade game, and I've played through all of those. They're quality. The games that you've spent money on,
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think someone leaked the Pixel 3 display, and it is a spitting image of the iPhone X.
I mean, there's a lot of phones now that are.
Yeah, I guess
I think that's where it's going. All screen, just all screen fronts or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at smartphones, Apple sets the trend. From a hardware and design perspective, I mean, obviously they made the first smartphone, but I mean, I guess you could call the BlackBerry or one of the later Envies maybe, but the first smartphone was the iPhone.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, obviously you see it again with the iPhone X display. They were the first ones. I think they were the first ones to really do fingerprint.
It seems like it.
I don't know when their fingerprint came out.
It was,
I know
it was
people were
pretty
doing
early.
it before, but it was just never good. That's what they do, though. Like, I wouldn't say they are trendsetters because
I definitely would say that.
No, I disagree
Yes.
because a lot of times it's how it's always been. Crap Android devices put a fingerprint in, so you buy them, or put, I don't know, something stupid. I can't think of a really good example right now. And they'll put something stupid in, it's super unrefined and never works. Like, for example, Android's had the face unlock thing for like half a decade, maybe more.
Barely works.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying though. I don't think Apple ever is the first person to do something. I don't think they were the first person to get rid of the.
They're the first person to successfully do it.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm saying is admirable trait. They do it smart. They wait until they can do it right and not.
Because I will say the Face
right?
ID on the iPhone does the iPhone 8 have Face ID, or did that start with the X? The Face ID works very well.
Yeah.
Like initially when I bought it, going into it, I was like, because I had used Androids before on like the Samsung Galaxy phones, and it was garbage. Yeah. But I mean, this thing, like, it can be dark. And like I can sit in the car at night when it's dark and it'll still work.
Yeah. That was something.
Don't really know how, because my screen is black. It doesn't provide light, so I don't know how it does it, but it still works.
That was something that video on the ROG phone. He said that their face unlock was better than iPhone X's.
Really?
He said it was faster because the phone just has more. It's a $1,400 phone or whatever. He said it was very, very good. So I don't know. But I mean, I think Apple does it right. I don't think they hardly ever are the first person to do something, but they're always, not always, but they're most of the time the first person to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, if you want to call that trend setting.
Were they the first people to do the all screen front? Do you know of any
I don't
phones
know.
that did that before it?
I don't really know, honestly. I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure that, I think there was some, what is it?
Mm-hmm. It seems like
Kickstart phone that was doing something
it seems
like
like
that. But
what I see from other phones, like when you talk about Samsung or something, when they make innovative new features,
yeah,
it seems like, I mean, we had the when did it start with the S7 Edge where they did the thing where
Oh,
it
on the side.
wraps around the side,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, that's cool.
yeah.
And they
Not
had,
gonna
like,
make me
they
buy a
had,
new
like,
phone,
your
though.
notifications on the side. That's where it would pop up on the side.
And I mean, I will say, like, Apple, so most people buy the new iPhone, right? I feel like iPhone users tend to not lag behind, right? I don't know if that's the same case with, like, Samsung phones, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, probably not at the same rate, I would
but-
imagine.
And it's weird to me because Apple generally, from phone to phone, I don't think has, like, you know, the iPhone X was a big jump, but, like, generally when you talk about, like, the 6 to 7 or the 7 to 8,
yeah.
there's not that big of a jump there.
Wow.
It's
right?
interesting that they released
And they still
the
get
10.
people to get rid of their last year's
Right.
iPhone and get the new one.
It's
It's-
probably because they slow down the software.
They literally do.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't know if that's the actual reason
No,
or if it's
it
just.
actually.
I know that's a thing. I don't know if that's the real reason people are buying new ones. Probably has something to do with it. But
I think it's interesting that their business plan, they released the X and the 8 at the same time.
Mhm.
Like, they're like, you can buy the phone that's always been the same, or you can buy this new one with these new things.
Mhm. Well, I think they did that out of fear as well, that, you know, the iPhone X would flop and
Right.
they'd have the 8 to fall back on.
Right.
I mean, I don't think the iPhone X flopped. I think it was pretty successful.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't buy one hardly for, I mean, when I got mine, none of the, like, I couldn't buy it through Sprint. When I tried to buy it
Yeah.
online, I couldn't, and I had to wait like a month to be able to order it,
Yeah.
and then it would have probably been on back order.
right.
And I ended up, we were at Best Buy on Black Friday.
Yeah.
I did not go there with the intention of buying the phone. I knew that I kind of wanted one, but I was just like, can't buy one. Like,
Yeah.
they're all sold out everywhere.
Did you go?
And they
Black
happened to
Friday?
have it was on Black Friday.
No, did you get your Pixel on purpose, or did you walk in there and see that?
No, I knew. I went there on purpose because it was $200.
Because I remember both
like-
being
I mean,
with you guys.
I didn't get a deal on
Yeah.
the iPhone
You just
X,
got the
but-
phone.
Yeah.
The phone
I mean,
was
I knew
actually
I
there.
kind of wanted one, but
It's
I was
basically the
like,
deal, yeah.
you know, well, I can't get it.
The phone
But
being
Best
there
Buy
was
had
the deal.
one
Yeah.
one left.
Yeah.
Well, they had. I wasn't gonna buy the so there's a 64 gig one and a 256 gig one,
Right.
and it's like a $200 price difference. And they only had the 256 gig one, and I wasn't gonna buy that one, but then I did. And I mean, I think that's how they do it too. So like through Sprint, they have I don't know what it's called, but you pay, you know, your monthly contract or whatever for the phone for your lease, and you get a new iPhone every year.
I'm just gonna stop this conversation for a second. Whatever your name is, we're not dumb. We watch the Twitch troll videos too. I'm not gonna read that. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your ban.
That didn't take long.
Easy.
That's all right. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate your time. The Twitch troll videos are good. Hey, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I respect the attempt, but also your ban. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You just gotta put them in their place. You know, it happens just about every other week. That I don't know.
You know, but yeah, I mean that's just where Apple's at. Their stuff just works. That's kind of their thing. And I think Mac OS has gotten better over the years as far as you know, initially with it the big thing was like, oh well, I can't use this program on it, right?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's gotten better about that, just because it's been there for longer, and there are now, you can use that program on it, or there is a good alternative. But I think gaming is a big problem on it, and I don't think that anybody buys a Mac with the intention of playing many games on it.
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, I think most people who buy a Mac are older, not computer users or designers.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that. That guy was a streamer. Well, that's something.
Yeah, he was a streamer.
About to report his page, get him banned.
His rules are just respect me and everyone in chat. Don't push your luck or revolt an attempt ban or perm ban. Lol.
Well, I'm gonna take a snippet of this message just so we have it on file, just in case anything goes wrong. And, we need a little bit of proof. God, dude, this laptop. How did I ever use this? This is atrocious.
Used it a lot.
It was so bad. Overwatch on 40 frames. What a time to realize.
I just love how
hey, dude,
like
that laptop was top of the line when I bought it.
Dude, it's crazy how bad like mobile graphics cards are.
Yeah.
Like, it's unreal.
I just love
I mean,
how
that was when did I buy that? That's like 4 or 5 years old, honestly.
Yeah. At this point.
I just
and
love
it was
how
like-
your skill level increased significantly when you got that computer with the computer you
Yeah.
have now.
It's just a different world.
I mean, that's how it was when I was on my laptop too. I was less than 40. I was getting like 30 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely rough. I saved that screenshot. Why
Nice.
did our viewers just spike so much?
Because we're gods.
They
They
probably-
like listening
They
to
probably
us.
jumped in all together and then.
I'm also wondering, where is your mom? Is she still on vacation this week?
No, she's
Dude,
home.
where is our boy?
Who is that?
Matador. He's probably asleep, dude. It's like 3 a.m. there.
It's like 3 a.m. Our boy. So yeah, pretty cool. This always happens once, and it always ends badly. When our viewers jump that much, I feel like they organize a campaign and they start doing what that guy
No, we got
just
someone
did.
else saying, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for hopping in. Hit the follow button. We're close. You don't ever have to watch us again, but we're right there. Sell out Sunday. Let's get after it. Oh, we did get a new follower.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Who
That's
is
lit.
it? I need to get on this.
Come on. Get on top.
HP. Oh, I think that was my friend. I think that's C Knox, my old roommate.
Oh, nice, dude.
But still, thanks for the follow, my dude.
So,
Good tips.
so what are we moving on to now? Right now, anything crazy happening?
What do we got? While we're on the topic of like phone makers, this isn't. I guess this is about phones. Samsung is talking about making GPUs, or I guess they already did. I don't know.
Hey, show off that shirt, Cody. Getting requests to show off that.
Oh
shirt.
yeah, dude, that is C Knox for sure. Lambda Chi Alpha, dude, represent, represent.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Marissa.
Oh wow.
You make Cody cry.
You're gonna make me tear up, dude. I've already cried once today watching Darren fall down the stairs. Can't do it again.
Dude, I'm about to follow her channel too.
Oh, she streams.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's nice. I'll definitely.
Do you give her a shout out?
LCA.
It's her name right now. Go watch
Uh,
hers.
When do
I
you
think she
stream?
streamed today,
Do you
dude.
stream tonight? We'll throw a host or something.
I think she already streamed today.
Oh, well, that's nice. I'll
She played
definitely
some
give
of
you
that
a follow.
Fortnite today.
Oh, you're on the Fortnite.
I
Right?
hit her with that follow. You
I'm
already
fr-
know.
why can't I-
Dude, we gotta follow back our followers.
Yeah, dude, we follow back streamers.
Yeah.
But it's all the community, and we're on the grind out here.
I followed.
Full
Yeah,
Send
dude,
Studios. Look at that.
The Full Send
Studios
Studios
follow,
follow, dude. Nice. LCA till we die, bro. Wow.
So, anyways, go ahead, Darren, with your
yeah.
phone maker.
So, are these? Did we confirm these? Are these mobile GPUs Samsung's
yeah,
talking about making?
I found a link. Did I update the link?
I don't know, but anyways, Samsung's talking about making their own GPUs for
Oh,
their
wait a
phones.
minute. Maybe it's.
I don't
not.
know that that's like crazy news. That
This
seems
is-
to be the trend now. Apple's making their own processors. Samsung's making their own GPUs. And on that topic of people making their own things, we're gonna hop into our Lord and Savior, Elon Musk.
Here we
Point
go.
to
Here we go.
Point to the moon,
My boy
boys.
Elon
Point to the
there.
moon.
Elon to Mars, brother.
So obviously Elon does a lot of crazy stuff. Everybody knows about autopilot on Tesla pretty much.
Yep.
Self-driving cars. So most self-driving car systems so far have used NVIDIA processors. Or I guess not processors, but what are you guys
This
doing?
could. I'm out of
Don't-
line.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
don't
We gotta-
look over
oh
here.
yeah,
Don't
we're
look
gonna
over-
watch this. We're gonna watch how bad this goes.
Hold it.
Ian's trying to give Cody some water over there.
I'm dying. I'm dying, dude. I need
I got my apple raspberry. It might taste like apple raspberry.
Well, that's okay, dude. Apple's pretty.
We're gonna see how bad this goes. I think they're gonna mess it up.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
He's threading that needle real nice. Oh! Hold
Don't
on, dude. I'm trying not to.
Dude,
That'll
flawless.
last, dude. That'll
Marissa hosted us. Thanks for that host.
Thanks for the host. Hey,
Wow,
that's
dude.
a flawless pour, Darren.
Wrong.
Don't
That
judge
was.
me. Okay?
That was. I'm
I
not
don't
wet
spill a drop
at all.
ever.
Well,
I never spill drops.
I wasn't like my tumble down the
After-
stairs.
hey, listen,
already.
California
keep it
needs
dry
water.
out
I'm
here
not
today, boys.
I'm not wasting water out here, boys.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good stuff.
But anyways, back to our Lord and Savior Elon Musk. So generally, self-driving car systems have used NVIDIA processors, GPUs,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call them,
Right.
NVIDIA hardware to do it. Elon is talking about making their own hardware now for autopilot systems in Tesla. A lot of people are giving some criticism for that because obviously that's a big undertaking. Like that's what NVIDIA
Yeah.
does, and they
Yeah.
do it well. So people are like, well, why don't you just use what's already there and what works well, So we'll see how that goes. But generally, when people say that Elon's going to mess something up, he does it better than anyone ever expected. So
That's
That's very true. I think we had another little Elon thing.
oh yeah, he wants.
This
He's
is
looking
a
for
good
game
one.
developers.
Did you see this, Ian?
Really?
Yeah.
He actually tweeted this.
I don't know if it was a joke or not. I mean, I could see it being a joke, but it didn't seem like it was.
No. Apparently,
He
he's
wants to
followed up a bit
put
more.
games in the cars, on the screens in Teslas. I guess I think that's what his tweet said, wasn't it?
So here's the article I found. In a series of tweets, Musk asked aspiring devs to consider applying to make super fun games. He said the company is interested in ways to make the Tesla's center touchscreen, the phone, and the car all work together in tandem. He requests prior work samples and says max playability and creativity is priority. Wow, dude, that's so nice. The phrasing would seem to imply that it can be played while actually in a Tesla car. That raises some possible safety concerns. Part of Tesla's current mission is to make its cars self-driving, obviously. Presumably, any potential game applications could be used by a passenger or while the car is in autopilot mode, blah, blah, blah.
I didn't think about that.
So,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So, Elon, if you're watching, we don't have any past work
we're a-
examples yet, really, but
We're a small
come
studio,
work
but
for you.
we're hungry to work.
we'll do
you
it
know
for
what I'm saying?
real cheap too. So,
Honestly, like $1 a day
yeah.
is pretty good.
Honestly,
for me.
I'll take a car.
how
as
about
payment.
this, Elon?
Actually, yeah, I'll come work for you if you give me a Model 3.
I'll just take a Model 3 and that's all I want. Okay.
I don't drive, but like,
Listen, I'm
I'll
not
take
asking
one
for
too,
much.
dude. I'll take one too.
Cody just wants it to sit in his driveway, honestly.
Yeah.
It's self-driving, right?
Can
Like,
you imagine
What?
just having 3 Teslas parked out there?
Well, we're probably moving to California if we're working for Elon.
Well,
so-
but just imagine what people would be like.
It would
if we're
be.
just
It
cruising
would be
around.
not good. To
That's
just have
true. It would be
three,
not good
like,
here.
Ian, that's
$70,000
that's
cars.
why I didn't buy the Mustang.
Well,
Yeah.
without a garage, yeah. You literally don't have a garage. It would have
Yeah.
been so bad.
Oh yeah.
So
I love how you went from either a Mustang or a large black truck, and you got the black truck instead. It's just such a weird difference.
Why? Well,
I just
mean,
feel like people who drive Mustangs
Well, I
are not
went
people
there.
that drive
Okay.
big black
Well,
trucks.
the story is I went there to buy the truck. Like I had seen the truck online, and that was what I was gonna buy. But then, I walk in, and in the showroom up on the pedestal, they got this Mustang GT 500.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You need to tell the story to all these people about what they did when you walked in there, like how they treated you, because that's
okay.
hilarious. That's
So-
good stuff.
So, like, I'm 21.
We
right?
shoulda
I was
re-
20 when I bought the truck.
We should have recorded that. Honestly, that was content.
So I walk into the dealer. It was so I was working 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. at the time at work. So I got off work at 6 a.m. and the dealership opened at 8. So I went home, took a shower, everything, and I go to the dealer. Like right when they open at 8, and I walk in and I'm like, hey, I want to buy that truck out there, and they're like, well, which one? There's a lot of trucks out there. I'm like, the big one up on
I want
the
the truck.
I want
Yeah.
the truck.
Yeah, and they're kind of like,
Haha.
like
Bull.
obviously, like I'm young, they're like,
Good meme.
so they let me take it for a test drive, right? And I didn't really need to test drive it. I knew it. Like it's a brand new truck. Like
Did
what am
you
I gonna
tell
not
your
like
parents
about
you
it?
were buying it?
No.
Mm.
That's one of those things that falls under. It's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, Cat, your cool's not in chat today. Huh?
But anyways, so we get going through whatever, I tell them, yeah, I want to buy the truck after that. And they're still kind of like,
There's
because
no way.
it was, other than the Mustang, it was the most expensive vehicle they had there.
Yeah.
And I think I made the salesman's day because the salesman that sold it to me had started there that week. And it was his
Oh.
first week ever being a
Didn't
salesman.
they just put him on it because they're like, this guy's not legit?
Well, he was the only one that wasn't busy with stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And but it was it was like the first week of him ever being a
Some
salesman
fat
somewhere.
commission on his
Right?
first
Yeah.
sale.
Yeah.
And I bought like the most expensive vehicle they had there. But if you don't know, so a lot of dealerships, they get commission off the down payment, not the total sale
Yeah.
price. So they, initially I said I wanted to buy the truck and whatever, and they come back with this paperwork that's like got like, I think it was like $2,500 down, and this was a $54,000 truck. And they're like, I'm putting down more than $2,500. Like
Yeah.
that loan payment's gonna be like $900 something a month.
Yeah.
More than that maybe, I think it was. And I'm like, yeah, a little more than that. And he's like, well, how much more? And I'm like, I don't know, 15 grand. he's like, okay, well we can work with that. and then something else that gets me, so they got me the loan, right? You know how you go to the dealer and they send your loan to 5 different banks
out.
or whatever,
Right.
and find you the best loan. I got denied from 5 banks for the loan. Now, I walked in there with 15 grand down, right? And I had like a 720 credit score or something at the time. And so they look at like your last 3 paychecks, and my last 3 paychecks were all like 3 grand gross for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So like I was making over 5 grand a month according to my paychecks, right? And because I worked a lot of overtime at the time, and I had 15 grand down and like a 720 credit score, and I got denied from 5 banks for the loan. But now this is in contrast to every person I see that has no money ever walks in and gets a 25 grand car with nothing
They
down.
complain about
Like
how people that are on like food stamps and stuff, and they have like Apple
Yeah.
Watches and iPhones and stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, how do these people that cannot afford this car at all walk in and get a 25 grand loan for this car? And I can't get my loan was like 35
No,
grand when
it's
it was all
because
said and done.
you're too good. They
That's
can't
what I
make money
wonder-
off
Like,
of
I
you.
wonder what the actual algorithm is.
Isn't it?
It's not an
it's
algorithm.
because
It's
they,
somebody manually just is like,
Is it?
yes or no. When it comes down
wouldn't
to
it just
most
be?
banks,
Wouldn't it just be
Oh.
like they would make more money off those people because they would be way behind in their like loan payments? So
I
like
don't
they
think
knew
they look
for
for that.
sure you would pay
No,
it,
because
but
they make money off of their. If they give you a loan for a car, especially with no down payment, so obviously like I had a big down payment, right? So they could have sold the car for probably more than what I owed on it. Most people that get these loans with like a couple $100 down or nothing down on a new car, the car is instantly not worth what they owe on it, right? So they don't want they don't want to have to repossess the car because they're not going to get their money back out of it. They make money off of your interest. That's what they make money off of.
Yeah.
So they want you to pay the loan. But I don't know.
It's weird.
It's anyways, Darren got a big block truck and he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And you put
Sold
it
it so I could
you
start
put it in
Full
a
Send
river too.
Studios. Yeah, that was a good time.
Literally, pretty much no damage, right?
Well, I mean, so there was like hardly any like noticeable damage, right? Other than if you looked at the passenger side, it was kind of scraped.
When
up
I'm talking
and-
about a big truck, I mean, it was what, an F-250?
No, it was
150?
only an F-150, but it had like it had a
lift
6-inch
kit,
lift
yeah.
and oversized tires and all that, all that jazz.
And
Plowed
big
extended
plowed
cab.
through a couple trees on the way to the creek without slowing it down.
Yeah. But I mean, there wasn't that much damage. Like
It was just
there was
the
some
airbags,
body
right?
damage, but nothing crazy.
A lot of airbags.
I mean, if the airbags, the total cost, right? So obviously insurance covered it. I had like a $500 deductible.
and for a while, we didn't think that was going to happen. We thought for sure.
Yeah,
it was
they were
total.
like, well, they kept telling me on the phone, right? I'm talking to Progressive on the phone, and they're like, they called the bank, so we did like a 3-way call with the bank, so I could set it up for them to be able to pay it off and
Right.
everything. And they were convinced they were going to total it, and I'm like, there's no way. that this is like I saw the truck. I was there. I had to help the towing guy pull it out of the river, and I'm like, there's not that much damage on this thing. You got to be kidding me. And just looking at the truck, I mean, if I had to guess, without the airbags, it was like probably $4,000, $5,000 in damage, and the truck's worth 40 something.
Mm-hmm.
If they would have paid me off, they would have paid me the price before I wrecked it, which probably would have been 46, 48 grand.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, there's no way there's that much damage to this thing. And the guy's like, well, when the airbags go off, we have to total it. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense. So they ended up fixing it.
I mean, sure, typically, if the airbags go off, the car's probably totaled.
Well, yeah,
that's just a general rule. But yeah,
they ended up fixing it. It was like 14 grand, and the airbags they told me were like 9 grand of it.
my favorite part of that was when you left to go to our friend's house.
Yeah.
Wasn't snowing at all.
Oh, even when I left their house, there was, I mean, it was like barely just trickling down.
Well,
right?
for people who don't know, we live in Ohio, so
Yeah.
we get some pretty brutal winters
Yeah,
sometimes.
so like there's barely any snow, no ice on the roads, nothing like that, right? When I left, and it's only a 15-minute drive, and by the time I was halfway home, it was just solid ice.
Yeah.
Like,
And the best part was after you're in the creek and you realized what happened, you had to climb across your
dude,
tires.
I ripped my pants.
Yeah,
because I was so I'm in the creek, right? The water wasn't that high. It was like halfway up the tires,
yeah.
right? So there wasn't any water damage to the truck. And
But
I'm
it's
getting out of
cold.
the truck, but it's like
cold.
It's like 0
middle
degrees
winter.
out,
It's
right?
like late December. I'm pretty sure.
It was probably
Damn.
negative degrees out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm wearing, so I was just running over real quick and coming back home.
What
and
were
I
you
was in-
doing?
It was when
We were playing Minecraft. We were
and
playing
I-
Minecraft, dude. Yeah.
The server was being hosted there, and I had to go fix it,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm coming back, and all I've got on, I'm just wearing like pajama pants, right? And so I'm getting out of the truck, and I gotta get, I'm over top of the creek, and it's like freezing water, so I'm trying not to get in it,
Yeah.
obviously. And I'm like, I can't really, so I'm like crawling, like I'm just spread eagle, right? Like I'm just going for it, I'm crawling over the tires trying to get out and not get in the water. And
You must have been really
it was when
stretched
I
if
went,
you
It was
ripped
when I
some
went from the
pajamas.
truck to the side of the creek, right?
Yeah.
I was on the bumper of the truck getting onto the side of the creek, and I ripped my pants like the whole way down. Like it just kept going. It was like not even being pulled anymore, and it just kept falling apart.
I just
Wow.
I just love how you managed to had to stretch so far that you ripped pajama pants, which are typically pretty
rough.
stretchy.
Yeah. And,
That's pretty good.
But then, so I had to help the tow guy pull it out of the creek and everything. And so I'm out there for like, I don't even know, 2 hours probably by the time it was all said and done. And I don't know how I didn't get frostbite because my pants were ripped like the whole way down the side.
Didn't you like sit in like didn't a statey come and you sat in his car for a while?
Yeah, so I called. I wasn't sure who to call because it was kind of outside of town.
Yeah.
But it was kind of in town. So I called the Orville Police Department, and then they called the state troopers. So he came, and I sat in his car for a while and filled out the report and waited for the tow truck and everything.
I think it's funny how I probably would have been in that truck because I'm pretty sure I was like, I don't remember.
I mean, you
I don't
wouldn't have
remember.
got hurt at all.
No,
Like, it was.
I don't remember if I was at the gym already or like I was gonna go back to your house with you for some reason.
And you know what the stupid thing is? So like the airbags went off, but it was all the curtain airbags. So there's an airbag in the steering wheel, and there's an airbag for the passenger. I don't know if it detects if
Passenger
there's
wouldn't
someone
have
in the
went off.
seat.
Yeah, it does. It's a
Okay.
weight thing.
But there's an airbag in the steering wheel, and the reason the airbags went off is because so there's a tree, right? I'm going down into a creek, and there's a tree that's like slanted on the ground, right? So I hit the tree like this. Bumper takes all the impact, or fender, whatever the front
Yeah.
is. So that takes all the impact, right? It didn't mess up my grill or anything. Literally just had to replace the fender. And it set off all the curtain airbags, but not the one in front of me. Which, I mean, I'm happy I didn't because it probably would have broke my jaw or something.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
I just think it's funny how the amount that you had to thread the needle to not die.
Oh, well, not even not die, but to get into the creek. I would have just hit a tree and it would have stopped me,
literally, Okay, I'm gonna put the camera on me. I'm gonna try to show this as much as I can. So
This is pretty
say
good.
so the road he's driving on, he's going. There's like a bridge that goes over it, and there's like a metal guide rail across it.
Yeah.
So let's say this is Cody. Cody's hand is the metal guide rail, and the road is over here. There is like a car width, a Darren truck width.
There wasn't. There was after
There
I
is
went
there is a Honda Accord car width, which is what I drive. Darren's was like significantly bigger than mine. So here's the guide rail, the tree that he hits right here, and then the creek's right here, right?
The creek's a good. We should mention the creek is
it's
a
like
good.
It's like an 8-foot drop.
20. It's like 15 plus feet to the
from
to
the bridge.
creek from
Yeah,
the bridge.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so over here is all like thick woods, like it's thick.
Yeah, it's thick. I wouldn't have made it through that.
Thick.
And he manages to let go of his steering wheel.
Well, I didn't let go
Oh,
of
come on,
it.
Darren. There's no way you were in control after.
No,
that.
I wasn't. I didn't let go of the wheel. I wasn't in control, but I didn't let go of it. I was
Holding
bracing.
onto it for dear
I knew,
life.
I
Oh
knew
my
it was
God.
coming. I was bracing for it.
So
But
Darren.
Oh,
So if Darren goes here, he's hitting the metal guide rail, and the truck's taking out a couple before he rolls into the creek,
Oh,
or
yeah.
just stops.
yeah.
On the other hand, he's hitting like thick trees, like big trees, and then dying.
Can
'cause
we
he's flying
mention
out the
that
front.
that I had to get over like a 4-foot deep?
Yeah.
ditch,
Oh yeah.
Too?
And the whole side. So there's cornfields on both sides before this. So the ditches are like 4 feet deep. No,
Yeah.
probably 5 feet deep
Yeah.
there. And they're always filled
I
with
just
water.
went straight over.
And he
the
just
whole ditch.
glided over the ditch into the perfect path somehow. I don't even know. It's just ridiculous how it happened.
Incredible, dude.
You can still see the path there.
Yeah,
'cause I knocked down
there's
the
literally
trees.
still a path
There
there.
were trees in the
Yeah.
way, and I knocked them down.
It's hilarious.
That's amazing, dude.
So now, if somebody's gonna go in the creek again, they don't have to hit any trees. Maybe their airbags won't go off, and it won't cost us much.
It won't
Oh,
cost us so
no.
much.
Dude,
Until it's my Honda that goes in there.
Progressive got the short stick on that deal though, because I switched to Progressive.
Oh, I forgot
2
about
months
that.
before I did that,
Yeah.
and then I had a $14,000 claim, and then
Well,
and then I sold the truck. 2 months later?
Yeah.
And dropped my insurance down to like $40 a month.
yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Oh my goodness.
Cody, have you ever had any experiences in a car?
Well, I mean, I've almost died several times. Cam almost killed me.
that was
I
a good
forgot.
one.
That's a good
Yeah.
one too. Cody's almost killed us too. Not you, Cody, but
Oh, wow.
but Cody Davis almost rolled his
Well, we've all
Trailblazer.
been down that road.
Yeah. We
You
were
mean
going
the Durango?
or the Durango. We were going through the vortex, like in Worcester.
I can't.
Right?
So when we talk about that Durango, let me just paint a picture for you real quick. Right. So I am 5'4" on a good day. Right. And
Are
I
you
cannot.
that tall?
I'm like 5'3", 5'4",
Okay.
ish in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
range. Right. I can't get in. I have to jump and grab a handle. Like I can't reach the handle. I have to jump and grab the handle and pull myself up into it. It's that high off the ground. So, and it's a Durango.
Yeah, and he was going around this curve at like an exit ramp that is like literally a bowl, and we went so fast. I'm certain that we were on 2 wheels. Like I felt the car take lift, and
Yeah.
I've never been more scared to roll a car in my life. It was bad. I forgot. I'm pretty sure we were like going to IKEA or something, coming
What?
back from IKEA,
Yeah.
which is the closest one was in Pittsburgh at the time. So
That's something.
Cody
Cool.
almost died. He went into it. Didn't you jump out into freezing cold water? Wasn't the ditch filled with water?
Well, it wasn't freezing cold. I mean, there was water in it. It wasn't freezing cold. It was cold, though. But it was more so apparently, so when this all happened, we were on a highway that turns into just like 2-way traffic. And basically what happened is, right, so we're driving this way, and there's a street that intersects on the far side, like a little bit down the road. Right, and it's like blizzard, icy. It's just rough, right?
Like usual Ohio, yeah.
Well, this truck pulls out, right, and he's just immediately slides into our lane. So he's like facing us, like trying to readjust.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cam was driving, and he like started to slow down, obviously, to give him time to like readjust, right? Well, he eventually gets back in his lane, and then Cam made the really bright decision to just speed up to the speed limit. And so, obviously ice and whatever. So we 180'd and went into the ditch. And so eventually the cop, obviously comes and he's like, I'm not even going to write you guys a ticket because it took me so long because there's 5 other accidents behind you. He's like, just sit in my car. And
the road that you guys are
that's
on.
kind of the annoying thing with my accident. I got a failure to control ticket, right?
Yeah.
Which was like $140 or something. And there was not a single other car on the road anywhere, right?
I think it's crazy that
And
around our area, every time I go driving when it's snowing, there's someone in a ditch. Every time.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, when I got that ticket, I'm like, okay, I'm not saying that I didn't lose control and go into the creek, right? Obviously I did. There's no damage to anything, right, except my truck.
Bro, you killed the farmer's tree.
Save the tree.
The farmer came out and helped us pull the truck out of it. He was like, yeah, this is pretty frequent. he's like, because there's 3 farmers, right? Right, they're the only people on that road.
Yeah.
And they all 3 came out and were helping because this thing was it was down in there. It was a job to get it out of there.
Yeah.
And they were helping us get it.
Did
out
they have a wrecker come and crane it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these farmers are out there and they're talking to the cop and stuff too. At one point, we had to kind of wait for the truck to get there and everything.
Did our police department come?
No,
eventually. Not at all.
No. And the farmers are like, they were actually talking to because there's no speed limit posted there, right?
Yeah.
So it's assumed 55, right? Because there's no speed limit. But that road is kind of this is getting into the physics of roads and stuff, kind of. But the road
real high octane content
does one of these real good. Right?
Yeah, it's got a really steep slope.
The sides crown off real good. So when you're already kind of drifting to that side somewhat, but when it's icy or snowy, then you really are. And it's you can be driving 20 miles an hour.
And no
on
doubt
that road.
Darren was going 55.
I was going 40.
Okay.
I mean, probably a little faster than what I should have been. But,
Right.
So, I mean, you could be going 20 on that road and drift off into the ditch.
I mean,
and
you
not
always
have
feel like you're
any
drifting.
control of what you're doing.
And the road bounces too. There's it's very uneven.
So like when I did mine, I mean, I'm driving along fine the whole road. I was 3/4 of the way down the road by this point, and all of a sudden, hey, you're going this way. I don't care what you want to do.
Yep. Ice takes control.
Yeah.
It's just how she goes sometimes.
So I mean, I don't care how much 4-wheel drive you have; it doesn't stop you on ice. So, yeah, and the farmers were talking to the cop about how they can get 40-mile-an-hour speed limits posted there because, I mean, in the summer and stuff when the road's not bad, it's whatever. It doesn't really
Even
matter.
then,
But the farmers were like, when it snows even a little bit, without fail, every day there is at least one car in the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've driven past cars in the ditch there plenty of times.
There's a lot of roads in our surrounding area.
And normally, if it's bad out, I'm not going to go on that road because that road does not get plowed or
I always
anything,
go main
right?
roads.
But the only reason I went that way is because that's the way I normally go. But like I said, when I left, was not even remotely there was little trinkles of snow coming down. That was it.
Between
Welcome to Ohio.
Yeah.
us and the gym, there's only I will only take one road to the gym in the winter because every other road drifts over.
Well, usually if it's the winter, I'll just go 57 to 30.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But it's by the time we were done there and I actually left, my dad came and picked me up. I mean, there was probably a foot of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Actually, are we done with rec talk?
Yeah.
We can get into some.
Good. It was a pretty good discussion.
I've never had a wreck, Lord willing. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Fake wood.
I've gotten pulled
This is
over
wood.
a lot, but I've never gotten to an accident.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty defensive driver, I'd say. That's probably why.
Yeah, me too.
Both of
Cody's
my
an extra
accidents-
defensive driver, and he
I'm the
doesn't
most defensive driver. I am the. Listen, all these people, they want to sit here and talk about being eco-friendly. Talk about someone that doesn't have any carbon footprint. Okay? You're looking at him. I have lived on this earth for almost going on 7 years now when I'm eligible to have a driver's license.
I was like,
and not
where
have
are you
one.
going, dude? Were you born in a leap year or what?
So, yeah, dude, probably true. So, you know, I'm really doing the Lord's work down here, making sure that, you know, this world lasts long enough that I can get on the ship
Hey.
and go to Mars.
My furnace and water heater are gas, so you still got a carbon footprint.
That's true.
Wow.
And the carbon footprint you leave every time you burn every piece of meat that you ever make.
Yeah,
Okay, we're not going to talk
that
about
can't be healthy for the environment. That might be worse than a.
Hey, hold on. Are we talking about Mars? In that water,
Well,
bro?
we kind of talked about that last week.
Okay.
Not really, though.
Well, so
It
the
was one of those
scientists
things
say
at the
that
end.
the scientists now say that no, Elon, you can't terraform Mars. It's not possible. There's not enough carbon dioxide. And Elon Musk is like, want to bet? Because I'm gonna do it. You know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the gist of that.
Yeah.
So you don't know the plan to terraform Mars. Obviously, they don't have an atmosphere that can sustain life. And so when I say terraforming, I guess that's not the right word. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I'm not talking about like manipulating
Changing
the
the-
landscape, right?
You're talking
Which
about
I mean, I guess I
colonizing.
am. Yeah. So but that's what they've called it. That's true. All the rides you finesse, you have a carbon footprint.
That's true.
Finesse God, dude. Never forget.
But anyways, they
Go get
so
groceries.
scientists at NASA have said that. So the plan, Elon's plan, is to nuke the surface of Mars, to blow up parts of the layers of the
Sediment.
yeah, and create more release carbon dioxide from within the planet.
Is that a thing? Like he's actually...
That is what his plan is, yeah. And doing that will release carbon dioxide from the planet and it will naturally create.
Yeah,
an
but what if
atmosphere.
there's life that we can't see though, and then Elon kills all of it?
I don't care.
I don't think there is because we've had robots. On
Yeah, I
Mars
know, but
and
that's
stuff,
gonna be an
but-
argument for sure.
Well, I don't think there's any laws governing whether he can or can't do it.
That's accurate.
Well,
Hey, by the way, curiosity.
I think there is because it's technically considered international waters, and you can't just nuke international waters.
Well,
on
he
Earth.
might not be allowed to have nuclear weapons, but he'll just create a space station and
Yeah.
build the nuclear weapons in space
Yeah.
and then do it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
he'll get around.
it's
it.
gonna happen.
By the way, Curiosity rover turned 5 today.
Wow, dude.
He's singing happy birthday to himself by himself every
Yep.
year so far. Sad.
Yep.
Poor guy, dude.
Fun fact.
He was only supposed to last for like what, 6 months?
Yeah,
and he's
fun
been up
fact,
there for 5
James
years.
Cameron spent as much on Avatar as NASA did to put that guy up there.
Yeah. That's true. That is an accurate statement.
Where have
Why
we
do I
gone
know that?
wrong as a society? I don't know. Oh my. Yeah.
Wait,
so
why
Elon-
did you have that piece of information in your brain?
That's a good question. I don't know.
He's daring.
He's
What do you
daring.
expect? So Elon, our Lord and Savior, we thank you for blessing us with your weekly content.
Daily
He
content.
gives us a content,
Daily
dude.
content.
I'm always about the Twitter on
yeah.
Elon's
See,
Twitter.
and I don't read like news sites about Tesla and stuff because most of the time it's just fake news. I just
news.
follow Elon on Twitter.
Fake
The only
news.
articles and stuff I actually read are ones that Elon tweets about.
tweets. Yeah. Yeah. His Twitter is pure gold. That's all it comes down to. Well, do we want to get into a couple of these other topics really quick? I guess we have a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit to talk.
Dude,
Well,
we
actually, while we're talking about planets, this is one of our random stuff topics.
Oh yeah.
GG, flat earthers. You took another L this week because Google Maps is represented as a globe. If you're a flat earther at this point, so here's my honest question, right? Like, I'm sure there are some people that just actually think the world is flat. But I've also seen people talking about, like, I'm not actually a flat earther. It's more of just like an overarching philosophy that you should question what you're told and whatever. I can get behind that. But if you are actually a flat earther, there are just so many things that, like, like, how do you explain magnets? Right? Like, how do you explain that there are poles and there is a magnetic field around the Earth if the Earth is flat? You literally can't.
Speaking of that, speaking of
It's
magnetic
magic,
fields,
obviously.
speaking of magnetic fields, right? You remember that movie that we started to watch the other day with Theo James in it, the post-apocalyptic movie?
That was not the other day. That was like
Okay.
almost a
All right.
month ago.
The reason I bring that up is
enough.
because I watched like a. Have you ever watched like the ending explained videos on YouTube?
No.
There's one channel that does it. Anyways, I watched one of those because I have no interest in watching the movie. We made it through like the first sentence of dialogue.
I thought you meant when you were talking about post-apocalyptic and you said the ending explained. I thought you meant the ending of Earth explained.
No.
Now I see what you're.
I see the beginning.
So
And
we made it through like that first like dialogue. Don't even know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
I watched.
Well, I
like,
was just
the
so
ending of that.
disinterested in
Yeah,
it.
it was bad. We were doing other things too, but apparently the reason that the apocalypse happened in that movie is because the magnetic pole switched, which is a thing that happens every like 100,000 years or so. But apparently, right now, it's been like 700,000 years since the magnetic poles have switched. So we're due for it. That's what I'm
Apocalypse,
saying,
boys,
boys.
let's go.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. We're due for it.
It is.
So,
what
like,
it is.
What does what?
Elon will keep
What
me
do
safe.
they?
You say
I
what
guess-
happens?
Yeah, what happens when that?
Train.
That's kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. I heard it
Yeah.
go off. Well, they don't ever actually tell you anything at all. This is just they're assuming that the magnetic pole switched. So, though the West Coast was like completely decimated by like a massive tsunami, because
Okay, that makes sense.
because literally no tides, right?
Yeah.
And then like the Midwest was like super hot, like really hot, because literally there's no atmosphere left if the poles switch. Like the atmosphere like completely changes. And then the East Coast, it was like different. Like he's traveling from Chicago to Seattle, so there's like a huge difference in between. So like tidal wave and then volcano eruptions a lot everywhere.
Yeah.
There was some other stuff, but literally they don't tell you anything. It was the weirdest thing. But you know what? I didn't actually watch it, so it's whatever.
Real quick, thanks for the follow, my boy Nads.
Oh,
we
thanks, dude.
appreciate it, dude. Say hi in chat.
Dude, 5 more, brother.
Yeah, dude, we're popping off. Today's been like a really productive
good day.
stream, dude.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all.
Well,
the
I'm
support.
thinking when I asked Darren how he knew that piece of information, I'm thinking we should do a daily trivia.
Wow.
I'm thinking
segment.
one of us
You mean a weekly trivia?
weekly
'Cause we
trivia,
don't
but
do a
it'll be
daily
it's I mean
podcast?
it's yeah. So Cody brings a question for me and Darren.
Okay.
Darren brings a question for me and Cody. I bring a
Wow,
question
That's a
for
good
Cody.
one.
and Darren.
That's a good one. I
So
like
I'm
it.
thinking we could pop that off right now. It's not that hard to look up, right?
Wow.
Like
Like,
at
are
the
you
end.
supposed to so are you supposed to ask us a question and then like I see if I know the answer or
up,
I
my
look
dude?
up the answer?
No. I ask a question, you see if you know it or guess.
Wow.
Obviously,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So we can do that at the end. We'll do that at the end. So you guys
Alright.
can search for him. I'm not gonna look at Cody's screen because I don't want to know the answer.
I don't
'cause
know
I'll
any
probably know it
trivia.
anyways. Just look it up, Darren.
Look up a
Oh,
trivia question.
yeah. Look up a trivia question. Find the answer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll
what
work
are, we,
on it.
what are we going off on right now until
Probably this
then?
while we're on the topic of planets and space and stuff, Trump's space force.
Oh, here we go.
It just says in our little Google Doc, I typed Trump Space Force Omegalol.
Yeah.
What do you want from me at this point? I mean, what am I supposed to say?
Dude, LeBron James is dumb.
Yeah.
Dude,
You know that?
He just
Okay.
lost Ohio's vote.
That's what I'm saying. I saw so many tweets. Literally, Trump is not going to get a vote from Ohio. Except
Why?
for
I
Darren.
mean, he will.
why
but
why is that?
He
Because
called
he called
LeBron
LeBron James
dumb.
Okay, well
on Twitter.
Ohio doesn't like LeBron anymore because he
We
left
still
us.
like LeBron. No,
I love
people
LeBron.
people still like
Literally,
Like,
Because
Auburn.
he's gonna come back when he's a free agent again.
I think
Yeah,
he's
play
going
with
to
his
buy
brother.
the team when he retires.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's actually reasonable. I saw something today about how there is a very high chance that he owns an NBA and NFL team.
And Premier
In-
League
in the
soccer
future.
team because
Yeah. Yeah.
he like has
He
stock
already
in Liverpool.
does a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
So
Okay.
my girlfriend is a huge. She has always said that
out.
she's a huge LeBron fan.
Yeah.
She's never said I'm a Cavs fan, right? Because she was
Well,
a Miami fan when LeBron was there, and now she was a Cavs fan, and now she just bought Lakers stuff this weekend.
that's unfortunate.
So
to
so
hear.
like she's a LeBron fan, dude. You know what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, break up. I'm just kidding. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a LeBron fan myself. Probably the best player of all time. Super helpful for the community. All that. He's just a good guy. You know, and you don't necessarily see that a lot in modern professional sports. So
Right.
it's a good thing to see. But no one's here for sports chat, probably. Man, Nads might enjoy it a little bit. I mean, Nads, you're a
Darren
Cavs
doesn't even
fan.
enjoy it. Me and Cody
Yeah.
really
I
want
mean,
to.
I get into it a little bit more
He
just
gets into
because
it a little
people
bit.
around me are. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think sports tends to be like I don't know, like most people can talk about sports.
Yeah.
You know?
That's pretty true.
I got a good trivia question, my guys.
Am I supposed to get
don't.
one
None
too?
of you guys
We'll
are
just
gonna
do
get it.
two. We'll just do two.
All right.
Well, I don't have one yet, so
Well,
we
not
might
yet.
only do
We'll
one.
keep going.
Are we trying to cater this towards like our community, like
I don't
our
know. Trivia is
scene?
trivia. Dude.
Yeah,
It's
trivia is
just
trivia,
random
my guy.
stuff.
It's-
Because
You know, whatever.
if it's gonna be something dumb, like who led the MLB in home runs in 1984, I'm just not gonna know that.
Well, neither am I.
You know what I
It's not gonna be
mean?
that
Yeah.
specific, bro.
You know what I mean?
Like, I love the MLB. I'm all about it, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Look that up.
I
I'm
don't
curious
know.
now.
Well, all right. Dude.
Home run leader, 1984, bro.
behind Matthew. That's very true, Nance.
I'm gonna say I don't know. I really don't know. Pete Rose, is that even a baseball player?
No, he wasn't really a home run guy. I don't think.
Give it to me.
Well,
Maybe
slow.
a year later.
We're doing a lot of interneting right now.
Yeah.
Just give it some time.
Oh.
Plus, I imagine baseballreference.com's servers are probably not top tier.
That's hard to argue with, yeah.
Let's see. I don't even know who this is. Tony Armas? I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
The
Okay.
more
Whatever.
you know.
There you go, brother.
Yeah, Nads, you are
Behind
very
Deli,
right.
dude. Yes.
Behind the real
Should-
go.
Are you buying Deli shoes? Get those deli shoes. I don't even know some Australian company is. making
Yeah,
them.
they're.
Darren's about to have the hardest trivia question. He's going hard.
Well, I actually thought of one.
Oh, really?
And
gosh.
I had to look up the answer because I didn't know it, but I thought of what I wanted the question to be. I knew that it was a question that could be asked and there was an answer. I just didn't know what the answer was.
Okay.
Well,
So,
Cody, we're about to get smacked by this question.
I'm not
Ian,
looking
you-
forward to it.
I don't know. You might know it. You might know it.
All right, we'll see what happens.
So basically, there's no chance that I know it.
I mean,
Can I have
it,
the
it relates
field?
to movies. and
Okay,
video
all
games.
right, all right.
And video games.
Yes. You'll see what I
The
I
answer
wonder-
is certainly 4.
The answer is certainly GTA 5.
What about Resident Evil?
Okay.
No.
All right, well,
So
I was
got it?
wondering if you
I
were.
think unless we got another topic, we can just get into this.
no, I don't think we have another topic. Are we done?
So,
I think
so
we're
you do
pretty
your
much done.
question first.
I'll do
Alright,
the quick
alright.
run through at the end, like usual.
So, all right, mine's a geography question.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
I'm trying not to.
what is the southernmost part of the U.S.? Where is it located? What state?
Florida, California.
No, I think Puerto Rico. Is
Does
that the
that,
one?
do we count?
No,
Out
no,
because
it's
that's
state.
not actually a
It's
state.
a state.
Oh, a state. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I think it's
didn't hear
Florida.
That would have
Said
been
a
true.
state.
That would have been true.
I think it's Florida.
Southernmost part. I feel like this has got to be a trick question somehow.
Or not, though.
Because it's either Florida or California. Because California's got that little.
I don't know where the globe actually like turns over.
We'll just assume that we're flat earthers for this question.
Does that make sense? Because like I'm wondering in my head like, okay, that's definitely not it.
I think it's Florida.
I-
My answer is Florida.
Like I think it's Florida. So I'm gonna go with Florida myself.
Nope.
Is it Texas?
Nope.
Is it California?
Nope.
What? That
Is
doesn't
it
make sense to me.
somehow like Alaska? Because that's
No.
what I was wondering. It's
No.
Alaska, but no.
Nope.
That's,
It's Hawaii, my dudes.
Oh my god!
I forgot
dude.
that was a state.
That's not a state.
That's an.
That's a mountain that popped up out of the ocean. That's not a real place. That's bull crap.
yeah, that question's interesting.
Wow.
I didn't know that at all.
If
wouldn't have
I
even guessed that.
remembered that Hawaii was a state, I probably would have guessed it. But
Gosh darn
as
it.
Cody said, Hawaii's not a real place.
That's dumb.
Okay.
I
Okay,
think my answer
so,
was my
good.
original answer was good. Though.
Okay, so-
actually, everyone thought about that.
My
but-
question is pretty good.
I
think
have
you
been
guys
to
will
the
like this.
southernmost tip of Florida. It's pretty cool.
I've been to what is the southernmost tip? I've been to
Uh,
Naples. That's pretty.
No,
close.
it's called. There's a specific. You have to like drive across a
Yeah.
sea bridge.
Naples is pretty close. I've been there. But anyways, my question. So, You all know Payday 2, one of my favorite
Oh,
games
here
of
we
all
go.
time. Okay, well
God.
this isn't really a Payday 2
All right.
Okay.
but it originates from
Lay
there.
it on me.
So in Payday 2 they say they have a lot
Get
of
a
like
question. This is fun.
they have a
Just
lot
use your
of
phone
like
so I don't see it.
Oh, okay.
so they have a lot of like phrases the characters say while
Uh-huh.
they're playing. One of the phrases is when a what are they called? Raids? I don't remember what they're called. When the police come, police wave, right? They say, "All right, ramblers, let's get rambling." Where did Where did that phrase come from? I'll give you a hint. It was a movie. Where did that originate in?
Can you say it again?
All right, ramblers, let's get rambling.
All right, ramblers, let's get rambling.
Or okay, ramblers, let's get rambling.
Do we get a hint?
It's a movie.
Oh, okay, Darren. Can I have the decade it was made?
Early 90s.
Early 90s. Dukes of Hazzard.
Nope.
I have no idea.
Take a guess. Just pick a movie.
I'll give you
Early
a
90s?
closer hint. It's my favorite director.
Oh. Is it Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude. It's my
okay.
favorite director, too. You can't just throw him out there.
Well, you
I
know.
know my Tarantino, brother. That movie's very good.
Yeah.
Every Tarantino movie is good.
I
if
know
you
that
haven't seen
most of the phrases and stuff in Payday come from a reference to something, and I thought of that phrase and I was like, where did that come from?
it. Yep. When you said it was a Tarantino movie, I just ran through all the quotes in my head, so it's
Yeah.
fine. You got one, brother?
I couldn't find a question.
Well,
I didn't have
looking.
a lot
Wow.
of time.
It's fine.
I didn't have a lot of time.
So should we talk about Tarantino here for a couple minutes till Cody gets a question?
Come on, dude. Get it together, Cody. Hurry up. I mean, I can talk about Tarantino for days.
Me too, dude. Those crash
I know.
zooms.
Yeah. Wait, bring back crash zooms, directors. I heard Michael Bay's making a horror movie. Get on it.
Hey,
Come on.
we need to have crash zooms in our podcast.
Well,
We need a hotkey that just.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of hard to do.
Well, Tim
Oh,
does it.
Well, he does. It's like an instant transition, though, right?
Yeah.
A crash zoom is.
Oh, that's true. We'll just have like
Oh.
transitions to little pieces and then just go like that on the keyboard. Just
I mean, I guess. Crash zooms are probably the best. I don't know what you would call it. The best action in cinematography.
yeah. What's your favorite Tarantino crash zoom? Do you have one?
Favorite Tarantino crash zoom isn't. Does he do a crash zoom? Oh, it's gotta be in Django Unchained when Leonardo DiCaprio turns around
Oh,
the first time you see
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
I like the Kill Bill crash zoom whenever like I feel like every boss that was introduced had a crash zoom to their face,
Yeah.
but it was actually her like trainer. I don't remember what his sensei whatever.
It's been a while.
When they were teaching he was teaching her and it like crashed zoomed to his face when he was talking all fast and stuff. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
But you know,
I just like the one in Django Unchained because it's the reveal.
yeah, and you're like, oh my gosh, Leo,
Yeah.
what are you doing here, brother?
Yeah.
I like speaking of horror movies, you said horror movie. Did you see
Michael
that?
Bay's making a horror movie.
That's-
That's about a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my
Did you see
God.
that the Slender Man movie is like out
I didn't
or
know they
coming
made
out?
one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, dude.
crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm getting close.
Oh my gosh.
Close, dude. Why don't you just go like to trivia.com?
Remind me that if we ever play Trivial Pursuit or whatever on like teams or something, not to play with you.
It's me and Darren for sure. We'd win it.
You were
to
just-
play with you
You were just bad at making content, dude.
Dude.
Come on.
at making
It's not my
content.
fault.
Dude,
How is it not
what
your
is his
fault?
job in our company?
Community manager.
Community manager?
I didn't know I was gonna have to do one. I didn't want to do a question.
We're gonna have to run over 2
Hey,
hours. to get your question in.
speaking of like trivia and stuff and games like that. So I was in Columbus right now. That's where my girlfriend lives.
Yeah.
And her friend has an Alexa, but it's like the really expensive one that has the
Did
screen
you
on
play
it.
Skyrim on it?
I did. I actually did. But there's like 50 or more games that you can play. So like there's Jeopardy you can play. There's like Song Quiz where it plays a song and you have to guess what it is based on like a 7-second clip. And there's like the Ankinator or Akinator or whatever that
Yeah.
game's called where it reads your mind.
I'm falling apart, boys.
And it is like cool. Like it was fun. It's like a fun party game. It's a good time.
He's gonna ask us the worst question.
I'm gonna sit here.
I know it.
I'm
I know
sit here
we're gonna wait for this. I mean, we're gonna sit here and wait for this question, and all the viewers are gonna sit here and wait for him to get it together.
Here's what we're gonna do.
He's gonna ask us the worst trivia question.
Here's what we're gonna do.
All
Okay.
right,
Cody.
I got it.
Cody.
I got it.
No, wait a second, Darren. We're gonna stare at the camera until you ask the
I already
question.
did.
We're just gonna keep doing it. Just stare at it.
Dude.
All right, you got one.
I got one.
All right.
How many Michelin stars does Gordon Ramsay have in total?
29.
Michelin stars, is that like the rating for restaurants?
Yeah, it's like you can only have 3 so each restaurant can have
Get up to 3.
up to 3.
You say 29?
Yeah.
That's not.
I don't want to sell my boy short though. That's the
I
thing.
think I oversold him, if anything.
I'm gonna say 17.
Well, Ian was by far the closest. It was 16.
Oh, off by 1.
I wonder. I'm kind of curious right now.
Off by 1. His restaurant, his like actual restaurant and wherever at, definitely has 3 stars.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It does. So the top 3 are. I can't even pronounce these. Joel Robuchon. I don't know. He has 31.
Dang, that's crazy.
Twitch chat.
What? Oh no, dude! It's falling apart. It's getting ugly. Whoa!
$100. Who's sucking whose tit? I'm down. I'm just kidding, brother. I'm not gonna do that. But you're gonna get.
Now
banned.
you know what? Before we ban you, he's European.
He's definitely like.
And anyway, just out of curiosity, where do you guys come from? Because we're just I'm just curious, genuinely.
Twice in one stream this time.
Yeah.
They're certainly friends sitting in the same room like we are.
Like, is that just a thing? Wow, dude.
I don't know what's happening. Hey, follow us before we get banned.
Yeah, this is.
Well, if you spoke Spanish, you would know that it's habla, not hablar, so you're already wrong.
Yeah.
Wow.
No to speak English. Pogs. That's what you just
No
said.
to speak English.
I just want to make sure I type these right before I ban the wrong people. Goodbye.
Ooh.
You ain't getting followers, boy.
Bye.
That's rough, dude. That's rough. We're growing. But also, you're banned. Enjoy. And then top shagger.
Bullfroggy,
Wow.
dude.
And yeah, I really wonder where they come from.
Dude, Twitch
It's
is
like
a crazy
the 4th
place.
time that it's happened to us.
Did I get everyone? I think so.
No, you forgot Bullfroggy, bro.
Bye, viewers. We don't
I
care.
mean, we're getting off. The stream's over right now, so.
We don't care. Yeah, like
We're
our
saying
stream's
bye
supposed to end
viewers,
3 minutes
bye
ago.
viewers regardless.
But,
So we just got to do this first.
We literally memed about ourselves having 0 viewers like 2 weeks ago with that article about
Yeah.
the Twitch
Yeah.
streamer
Yeah.
that streams for years, and like, don't do it for the viewers, my dude.
But see ya.
But bye. Enjoy your band.
Banned.
Thanks for coming.
Dude, that's a fat band hammer today, boys.
Oh, dude, that was a big band hammer. Can we get Pogs in chat for the band hammer today?
Yeah,
or is there a band hammer emo? I don't
That's
actually know.
4 people. 5 people. we
5
banned
people
today
banned
total.
today.
Yeah.
Like, is this? Wow.
Mm.
Give it a try.
Oh,
thanks, Grant.
there we go.
Moon 2 band. That's right. Okay. Much appreciated. Thanks
Give
for
us the closing, Cody.
yeah. So we missed a lot of topics this week. So as
Did we?
usual,
Did we?
well, kinda. I guess
only
not
really
a
see
lot.
2 that we missed.
Yeah. I guess,
Certainly
well,
less than we
3.
usually do.
3. Yeah, we only missed 3.
Cody
so,
puts in all this work every Sunday to fill
doesn't
up a
matter.
fat list
Yeah.
of us to talk about, and it always gets redirected.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care.
Look,
I mean,
it's-
it's just there for fallback. I mean, mostly, whatever.
I mean, usually
We talk about most of the
the
stuff.
topics
most of
the
time.
topics get us onto other discussions.
That's
so,
the
I
main
mean,
point
yeah.
of them too, because like obviously we could, like every gaming news website does Fortnite. How to, I could put
Well,
that in
hey,
here.
that's-
but
Dude, how to find the llama?
That's
dude.
how we get viewers, dude. Fortnite clips and we just put Ninja in there. You know,
Dude, we should.
Who was that? Logan Paul, Jake Paul?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
We should just do the top 5 Fortnite streamers who have cursed. That's the video.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'll just run through the few topics that we didn't get to this week. You can check them out on your own time. We were going to talk about the future of esports because Fortnite and Overwatch are doing big things. We like to see where that's going. EA and other major publishers are gearing up for a Netflix-like game streaming subscription service.
Not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
We've talked about that a couple times before with the Google rumored and Steam. But there's been lots of talk of that happening lately with the Google console and then the Xbox console rumors about that.
Wait a minute.
What?
They're adding another China team?
Yes.
That's a bad idea. They're gonna go 0-42.
And then we always like to talk about Overwatch League a little bit in here, just talking about what they're doing. So they have said already that there are going to be 6 expansion teams before next season. 2 of those were officially announced, one being Atlanta and one being a place in China. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm just saying, any teams out there that are searching for people, I'm a god at Widow.
No, he's
so,
not. No, he's not.
Hit me up.
Probably Bronze Widow, to be honest.
I'm a flex player. Hit me up, brothers.
So, yeah.
Low plat, I can play. The only reason I'm low plat is because I have to carry Darren. He's like a ball and chain around my ankle.
Whoa, now. The only reason I'm gold is because I had to carry Cody.
Okay.
The only reason you're gold is because Cody carried you.
No.
Here we go, dude.
Who's higher ranker now?
Me.
Yeah.
Oh, where?
I think.
There was a while where Cody was higher than you.
Well,
That's because Darren just gets off the first game he loses now. And then waits for his carries to get back online and then plays and wins.
No.
That's exactly what you do.
No, the problem is with Darren is that he insta-locks Widow, and then when it goes bad, then he insta-lock Torb, and he doesn't switch.
Hey, now, I barely
saying those two
insta-lock
are-
Widow anymore.
Yeah, you
okay?
insta-lock Torb.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Torb's a
close
god.
out the
We
stream.
went over this before.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
gonna
We're
close
going-
out the stream. I need to eat. I'm starving.
Matador, if you're watching this, if you're watching this
missed you.
post stream, we missed you.
Matador.
Yeah, Matador. My dude. We missed you. So anyway, we got to the missed topics. Check those out if you want to. I don't really care if you do or not, but I just thought they were kind of cool. I'm gonna shout out the things that happened today. Bearded Granny hosted us with a viewer. Thanks for that, Grant. We always appreciate it. My boy Cody. Thanks for the follow. Marissa Sarah, thanks for the follow and the host. We appreciate it. Hope to see you around some more. And Nads, it's nice to see you finally figuring out how to work Twitch, dude. Thanks for coming in chat. But anyway, if you enjoyed the podcast this week, we stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our podcast. It's normally about 2 hours like today was. We also do a couple development streams every now and again with our game. That we're kind of taking a step back from, but they gather. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely follow and check those out whenever Darren or maybe me or Ian go live in the near future. But yeah, beyond that, check us out on the social media pages right here. Is it going to be close?
No way.
We'll see. I don't know.
Someday you're going to get it. Watch.
That was a little too high.
That wasn't bad.
A little too
honestly.
high.
It's fine,
Last
though.
week it
It's
was a
fine.
little too low.
You'll get it sometime.
The camera angle was adjusted this week. I'm going to blame it on that. So anyway, check us out there. Follow us on Twitter. We hit 75 followers on Twitter, so that's kind of lit.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Dude.
I put one picture on Instagram. We have like almost 50 followers on Instagram. Every time I switch over to that account, we just get 5 more followers. So
We're
that's kinda
popping
cool,
off,
too.
brother.
We hit our first 100 view video on YouTube. That's our motion capture setup video. So we'll probably be posting another one of those over there. So check that out if you're interested in motion capture and matching and crazy stuff. And but yeah, hopefully we'll see you guys next week with the 10th episode. We'll be in the double-digit episodes of the Full Send Studios podcast.
We've been doing this for 10 weeks.
Well,
Technically
we have 3
13.
pilot episodes.
Technically 13, yeah.
Yeah.
13 weeks.
It's kind of wild.
Hey, you know what? Look out for that
Consistent
1v1.
streaming.
That 1v1 tournament.
Yeah, dude. So check out. Yeah, be waiting for that. But yeah, beyond that, we appreciate you guys coming out, and we hope to see you next week. Peace.